Alrighty, we are back in the Sunless Sea. Now, the last time we were here, we had picked up and broken the spirit of somebody in the Chelinet. Not to mention, finally found Hideaway, which was right over there, right on the eastern edge of the map, and finally gotten a bunch of quests done there. We delivered a few people, I believe a detective over there, who was subsequently kind of shattered by the realization that they are either that they are harming that beast that they kind of live on, or just by the fact that, well, there's a gigantic, humongous beast over there. Not quite sure what part of that he was really saddened by. But we also managed to pick up a new officer, the Nacreous Outcast, in the principles from Port Cecil, and I'm still not sure quite what the principles are. I'm pretty sure they are representative of the coral around there. I think that like the whole organism itself is the principles. Not quite sure what exactly they are, but he is somehow their vessel of choice. He kind of works for them. And I do believe he mentioned that it was because he was an outcast from somewhere else, and the principals kind of picked him up and took care of him. I think that was why he was in their employ. But we have picked him up. We've talked to him a little bit. I don't think he really has any requests for us. Though we do have the ability to go and romance him, should we actually need. We actually did finally get our first romance the last time, and that was with the pirate poet. Can't quite see if I have no idea where that would be anyway, but we after sinking quite a few ships that she'd been on and quite a few corsairs, we ended up picking her up so often that we developed an interesting sort of relationship, and we found her at Gyder's Morn, going and talking to the pirates over there, and ended up hooking up in a back alley and getting tattoos of each other. So that's always good. And so we've got that vague acquaintance. Now, with that said, I do think I should actually start looking towards creating a scion, creating an heir of some sorts, because it's looking to me like we're getting towards the end of this captain's journey. We do still have a fair bit to go before we can really get to any of our quest completions. Now, we were looking, hopefully, for, at one point, the Zong of the Z. See if I can pick that up in our lodgings. So we did actually create all of the sort of treasures here. Sans the last one, which is a serene aquarium, required for that. But that does require a whole lot of farming for Z stories, tales of terror, memories of distant shores, secrets, etc., etc., etc. So I think I'm going to probably leave that just kind of alone for a little while. Instead, we are going to go for two things. One, we want to figure out what happened to our father, and we do have a quest from the Fathom King to go and do that, which involves a pretty wide treasure hunt. Some of them we already have. We already have a officer with a completed quest. We already have a mirror catch box of sunlight, or at least the capacity to get some more if we ever sell the ones that we have. And I think we know what the brilliant weapon is from. I believe that is from, let's see, the Irrepressible Cannoneer. There is a weapon that we can go create if we end up going to, I want to say, the Station 3? I think that's where we left off, where the heart metal is made. I want to say it's either at Station 3 that we can make the weapon, or we can pick up something that the weapon requires in Station 3, probably the heart metal. Unfortunately, that would take away our bridge slot item here, the Awakened Seal of Red Science, to turn it into a forward weapon, which is a slot we don't actually have on this ship. That's a slot we are very much missing. So that will definitely be left for when we get a little closer to completing that. We do still have quite a few things to go there. either the Heart of Mount Nomad or the Tree of Ages, the Fruit of the Eternal Tree, which we're pretty sure is from Adam's Way. We have no way of confirming that, though, because we've never been able to catch the seed that has dropped from that tree. So that's still unknown. Unfortunately, one of the things that we did have that we had problems with is these tomb colonists. We ended up actually losing one at, I want to say, the Chalanet when they went out hunting. I kind of assumed they would be okay. We did kind of keep them safe in the other locations that they wanted to go to. I believe it was Port Cecil, maybe Guider's Morn, and then Polythreme, I want to say. Maybe the Connate. I think it was Guider's Morn, then the Connate, and then we happened to drop off at Polythreme just because we were over there. But in the Chalanet, we lost one, and we do need to return with a full 12, though it was very clearly specified that the full 12 was not, in fact, the original 12 that we started with. They'll accept pretty much any 12 tomb colonists. We thought we could pick one up at Shepherd Isles, but it turns out that though they have very similar, and I think, in fact, identical icons, this is Sooth and Cupra Longbox is not actually a tomb colonist. They are not interchangeable. So we do have to pick up some more. Somebody said that we can get them either in Polythreme as sort of a random chance thing, or by fighting some sort of Z-Beast and kind of digging them out of the stomach, which does make sense considering the location we lost them in was the Chalanet where they went for a hunt. So we do have to pick up a new one from somewhere. So we'll probably end up doing that. Maybe we'll pick some fights with any Z-Beasts. I believe I did a little bit of research. I think it has to do with mores that you can actually get them back out of, and then possibly some behemoth stashes. But the only behemoth stash we knew the certain location of was over down here by Port Carnelian. There used to be one swimming around down there. It's gone now, as far as we know. We haven't seen it in quite a while. So, not quite sure where any of those are. We do also have to hunt behemoth stashes for our comrade, the Fading Haruspex, over in the Gant Pole. Because she does require that for her, I want to say, divinations? Where she kind of reads the dying life in a soon-to-be-dead Z-Beast. Speaking of soon-to-be-dead, we also have to go up to the Undercrow now, because we finally, since we found Hideaway, delivered the nearly dead man's letter. And boy, do I hope he's still alive, so we can actually go back to him, tell him that we delivered his message, and actually mention that, I want to say Vittorio? I think it might be Vittorio. Got his message. I think either he or his contact in the Chalanet, or in Hideaway, was named Vittorio, and that's the only first name that I think we've ever gotten. That's the only name that I think we've gotten, since everybody else seems to really function on titles. Very interesting. Other than that, we have a few quests to deliver to the principal. We do have to deliver a Wakeful Idol, which we can get over from Irem, as well as a hunting trophy to the principals in Port Cecil. And I believe he gives us Scintilic. I believe that is the reward for delivering those. Not quite sure what he wants them all for. Not quite sure what he, she, it, we, they is in Port Cecil, what the principals actually are. But I think that'll help us out at the very least. And since I mentioned it before, we do also want to find a scion. And we do have to figure out where we will sear that scion from. Sear? Is that the word? Basically, who are we gonna have a child with? I do want it to be a contact that we are in pretty good standing with. That is, that we've actually spent time with, helped out and stuff. So probably one of our officers. I assume they can bear scions for the most part. That said, the only place that we've ever gotten a scion from before was by adventuring around Wolfstack Docks. We met a very bad spy there that we once had a scion with. Unfortunately, we ended up dying before we actually managed to get our scion to go to sea, as well as before we had a will. So that scion was kind of just abandoned They just ran around in London. Not the best of times. But I assume that a similar process will go through one of our officers here. I'm leaning towards the Clatterier because we have spent quite a bit of time with her. She's really the only officer, even though we've seen quite a few to completion, that has sort of opened up to us. We have her, we have the Indomitable Campaigner, formerly the Brisk Campaigner, who we've seen through to the end of her kind of strange quest to stop her soul from catching fire, as well as Maybe's daughter, now rival, who we helped find her mother, and she did something under the bazaar that turned her into a rival. We're still not quite sure what exactly it was she did, or what she wanted to do. Really, she wanted to somehow match up to her mother. We're still not sure what her mother is or did or was. It's very obscured, and I don't feel that she was all of that interesting to begin with. So I'm very much leaning towards the Clattery Air for our romantic interest here. Other than that, maybe the pirate poet. I don't actually know if she can bear a scion. Pirate poet is the best romance option. Yeah, I don't know if she can bear a scion, which is what I really want to go for. I want to get a scion. I want to get that all going, because I believe if you bear a scion, especially if we succeed in our quest here, we will to get an ending, that is, we will actually get a huge bonus for when our next captain rolls around. I think we get to choose like double or something like that, the starting option. So we just get a huge bonus, a huge benefit to our starting stats and our starting equipment, stuff, something like that. I want to say. But of course, to do that, we'll actually have to have this captain survive to his end. None of which we are particularly close to. There's the island, Aestival, I want to say. I think it's Aestival. Either Aeshaven or Aestival. The island of sunlight in the sea, where we are attempting to build our kingdom. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of sun there, which kind of drives us mad, so we need the ability to stop that from happening. The two locations that we've confirmed that can help us out with that is, one, Irem in the Dream. We have to get all of our stats up to 100. We've finally gotten one of them there. Our iron has actually reached 100. The other ones are still on the way. They're still climbing. Not quite sure how to farm that up. Not sure at all. And then the second option is to ask for some help from the Dawn Engine folk, the Dawn Machine folks over in the Grand Geode. And they had a few options that we could choose from there. If I can find it on our amazingly cluttered quest page. There it is. Some vital intelligence, 7 crewmates, 50 supplies, the figurehead of the Eater of Names, and one dread surmise, the next step up from our searing enigmas that we've been picking up very, very rarely. If I can find it, there they are. Searing enigma. The dread surmise is something I have no clue on how to obtain. I think that path, going with the Dawn Machine folks path, is going to be much more achievable than getting our stats up, especially since a lot of those stats I have no clue on how to raise other than by spending secrets, and a whole lot of secrets at that, to with our officers to go and increase those individually. But that would be about 40 secrets each for each of our stats just to get them to 100. Which would be a lot of secrets and a lot of fragments. It would take a long, long, long time. That may be the method, the direction, the way we need to go if we want to go chase after Irem. I don't really trust the folks from the Grand Geode, especially considering we did choose to help them, but they are definitely a cult, and their Dawn Machine does something. Not sure what, but it's big and spooky and kind of terrifying. But I think that might be the best option to go get an ending here. That said, I'm not really too interested in getting an ending, especially considering we've still got a scion to come back to and give stories of the sea and raise up to be the next captain, hopefully. But again, these are long-term goals. Don't even know what I'm covering right now. Right now, we should worry about the immediacy, the immediate plans here. Immediate plans being unfilling our hull. Now, we do have one sunlight-filled mirror catch box still sitting around. That is kind of taking up space at this point. We could head on back to Nook to go and trade that for sapphires, and then to the Chelonit to trade that for our cash. We also have some dark drop coffee beans. Not sure exactly where we picked these ones up, but we'll hold on to those because whenever we go to the surface again, we will be able to trade those for massive profits. Especially since I think these ones we've all actually gotten for free. We do have some strange catches, maybe a few too many. I want a live specimen we've actually got, as well as some romantic literature, which I believe we need to deliver down to Port Carnelian if we want to shore up our agent's control over there. I might start pushing for more change, going deeper into the cults that we have the options to join. There are multiple cults, and pushing for maybe a little bit more influence with our spy system, our spy network. London at the moment is very much dominating the sea, and we kind of did that for them, especially since we've been turning in our vital intelligences to not the admiral, the voracious diplomat here, who was connected to the folks in the Grand Geode, on machine folks, as well as kind of just choosing to help them out. And I think they are pretty much our best options. Since we've been getting very cozy with the John Machine folks, that's why I'm leaning towards their ending goal with the with Ace-Shaven, one of the two, with Ace-Devol. That and the just the realistic nature of being able to actually take them on, to take on that instead of just waiting for our stats to slowly increment up. But for our immediate journey, we do need to visit the Undercrow. We would like to visit the surface, but I think that'll be something on a return trip or maybe on the way back from kind of heading around the Sunless Sea. We do need to visit the Undercrow. We could probably... Well, yeah, nowhere else we really need to go. We do want to visit Irem and then, as well as Nook, to drop off our, or to exchange our mirror catch box of sunlight for some sapphires, and then the Chelonit to go and turn those sapphires into money. Beyond that, could keep helping out the folks in the Empire of Hands. We do probably want to exchange one of our strange catches for a live specimen at the Utter Shroom. Right, and polythreme. We need to offload our tomb colonists, so we do need to pick up another one, potentially at polythreme. And I think any of those big beasties will probably be on the eastern side of the map anyway, so we'll kind of look around there for what we've got going. For the... was it Flukes and... Behemostaches, I think I said? I think those are the two options. We'll also have to return to Port Cecil to go drop off the hunting trophy and the Wakeful Idol, Fluke Core, Ambiguous Eolith. Actually, Ambiguous Eolith we can go pick up in either Antha or Mount Palmerston. Both of those have Ambiguous Eolith purchases that are pretty cheap. And since Port Cecil wants that, I think we'll take a quick loop around to... We'll stop off in Vendor Blight. We won't... Vendor Bite, not Vendor Blight. We'll stop off there. Probably won't deliver the Tomb Colonists even if we can, because I assume it would be no reward, or at least a lesser reward for dropping off not all 12 of them. They've very much specified that they wanted 12 back, if not the original 12. Then we will maybe stop by Withering Codex, probably not. We'll probably head straight to the Undercrow. Then across to Mount Palmerston or Antha, down to Nook in Port Cecil, up to maybe through the Connate, and then Irem, down to the Chelonate to drop all that off, down to Polythreme to pick up a Tomb Colonist, hopefully, to the Outer Shroom to do a trade for our Strange Catch, and then from there, maybe we'll make our way all the way down. Maybe we'll make our way to Varkus. It's been a long time since we've been there. Ever since they closed off the city, there's the settlement outside of it. We have never actually been there. So we might go to Varkus and then Adam's Way. Maybe we'll sail off the southern side of the map, especially since we have a living ship. So maybe we'll try to sail off that. And then we'll slowly loop our way back home. And I might actually sell off our Dark Drop coffee beans. I believe you can sell them in Irem for, I want to say, parabola linen? Let me see. Yes, parabola linen. And parabola linen has a decently high sell price as far as I can remember. I believe it was somewhere around 60-ish echo. Not the most we can get for it, but in terms of being able to trade it for something, maybe. Maybe. Lots of maybes. And on the way, we will do various quests and bits and bobs, get things turned in, hopefully find interesting items. This, that, these, and those. But we'll go and do that. First, I think it actually unsold some of the items that I had sold when we arrived in port last time, that being the Scintilic. I think we sold that down to 2, I want to say, to free up some space. Dark Drop coffee beans we'll keep, because we can make more off of it by turning them into parabola and whoa! Okay, no. Buying is 120. I thought for a moment I thought selling them was 120, and that would have been fantastic. But no, selling them is, yeah, exactly 60 in Fallen London at least. There's probably better prices out on the Sunless Sea, and we can turn those straight into that. And if we end up going to the surface, we can also turn it into more. But all of that sold off. Do we have anything in our hold we really don't need? The long box, but yeah, we really don't need that long box. We might sell that one off in. Oh no, we can actually sell that off in Venderbite. You can only sell the Tomb Colonists in Venderbite. So, I guess we might turn this into heart metal then, because we know we can do that at Station 3. Other than that, we should turn in our port reports. I bet it not do that. Oh, Palmerston. Oh, I should have kept that one maybe. It'll be all right. I'll be passing by there anyway. Port Cecil, Godfall, Venderbite, Wither, Shepherd Isles as not as fact. Well, no. I do feel like they're telling mostly tall tales. Nuncio, Polythreme, Aestavol, the Chelonate. Yeah, all of these are locations we've already been to. Con Shadow will give us a nice little terror reduction as well. And Hideaway is actually new. We've never submitted this one before. A city on a what? Not too much. Decent price, though. New Island, the Gant Pole, where they'll laugh at us. And that'll be that. And we'll probably go combine. Maybe we'll sit on this. I was thinking of combining the strategic information to vital intelligence, but on the off chance that we happen to need strategic information, we'll keep it just as a trade, a possible trade. But we will turn in one of those 2 vital intelligences here. There we go. And Supremacy of the Dawn Machine is going pretty high. Also, speaking of going pretty high, our echo count is off the charts here. Fantastic. Shall we repair our hull? I think we might. I think we might. Because we are considering going and, let's see, that is in Fallen London, I think. That is in London. Yeah, there we go. Put our ship in dry dock. We are thinking of going after more Z-Beasts. So we do want our hull to be full. It's got a lot of hull, but depending on what we encounter, and depending on how good we are at dodging, which is not very much, we are not very good at that at all, we will probably be taking quite a bit of damage, and I don't want our damage to end in some issues here. We'll do that, and we probably pick up at least a little bit more crew, which will also be in London. We'll just go grab... Oh, okay. The Scrimshaw Chronicler can actually be dropped off here. Now, does he provide us anything? No, we can't even talk to him. So maybe we'll go drop him off in London then. Let's release the Scrimshaw Chronicler from our service. He's the fellow we picked over in the Chelonate, and he was really sad that whatever the Chelonat's built on, the great beast actually died there naturally, and the Chelonate kind of picked up the location and built their stuff on it while propagating the myth, I suppose, that they actually killed it. He was very sad about that. That's why he came with us. So let's see what he has to say. He's considering staying in London. I can open a shop, he says, by the docks. There's bone here, too. There's always bone. Sure, we'll go let you out. We'll let you out, buddy. A modest reputation. He goes ashore with his fish skin knapsack, his shark skin boots, his little wash leather bag that the bosun gave him to carry his tools. He sets up shop in a shack behind the blind helmsman. Over the months, curiosity brings visitors to see the bone-carving savage from the rotting shell city. His skill is significant, his reputation more so. He learns to trade on it. When last you see his name, it's on a mahogany hall handbill, as the bone chronicler who tells fortunes on stage. So he gave us some hearts and 3 outlandish artifacts. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Do we have anything for the Brass Embassy? No, we don't have a devil in our throat waiting to give a port report on Fallen London. We'll probably go check out our study. There it is. Sorry, not our study, our lodgings. And rest probably a few nights. Terror is at exactly 50 right now. So, yeah, and we've also got the Menace of Yearning Burning, because we spent a little bit too much time in the... maybe not too much time, too many interactions with the sunlight, getting it bottled up into those mirror catch boxes on the surface. So we did get a little bit burnt. I assume that's what that is, Yearning Burning. A little bit burnt on that. So we'll spend 2 nights there. I think that should probably be good, especially considering it costs quite so much. Labyrinth of Tigers. We could sell. We could also purchase. I think we'll just keep everything as it is. I don't know if we have much left to do in Fallen London, if anything at all, so we might be able to just set out here. Our food situation, it's not great. How's our hold space? Also not stellar. Considering the direction we're going, I think it's probably best to purchase a little bit of food while we're here. Antha has alright food prices. So does Nook, but I'm afraid that we won't get there before we start to starve a little bit. Oh, Antha actually doesn't have good food prices at all. So we'll go pick up a little bit of fuel. We'll cap ourselves out on, on food, not fuel. Then I think we'll set out to try to go regain some tomb colonists so we can get these guys off our bloody ship. There we go. Nice and full up. 17 supplies should be plenty to take care of our crew. Did we ever pick up our new fellow? I don't think we did. Okay, there are some new folks. And I'd actually meant to click that, but oh well. That is totally fine. And, shall we romance now? Shall we romance later? Let's see if our interactions with the pirate poet bear any more fruit. We'll go and take on some corsairs. See if we can get anything out of her. Anything being in air, which sounds kind of bad when you put it like that. But for now, let's set off up to the north. Maybe Wither Codex, probably straight to the Undercrow. Then down to, or across to Mount Palmerston, where we will pick up probably a little bit more fuel, as well as the port report that'll eventually let us into Adam's Way. And then down to Nook, Port Cecil. Yeah, all around here. We're gonna be traveling. can't do that unless we leave port. So we'll go and do that now. Go and save our lights, our fuel there, for as long as we can. We do alright in terms of fuel, but not nearly as well as I would hope for. Our new ship, even with our old engine, consumes a lot more fuel than our previous one. Oh, there's a swarm of bats to our southeast. Way out of the way, though, so we'll not interact with them at all. And fog is blooming before our eyes. But in no time at all, we have made it up to Venderbite. I really hope that it's not an immediate sort of check that we return to Venderbite with the tomb when we return to Venderbite with the tomb colonists, that they'll try to immediately get off. I really hope that that's an optional thing. And it looks like, since we weren't interrupted by anything, it is. We'll go pick up our port report here. Anything for the first curator? Doesn't look like there is. And we could explore Venderbite. Could actually sell off our visions of the surface. We've got quite a few of those, but I don't know if they're used for anything. Is my major issue. I'll sell off a few. They don't take up any space, so I think it'll be perfectly fine to just kind of have them. 25 should be plenty for whatever our needs must. And, oh, yes, we can get rid of some of our strange caches. We have too many. By offering it as a meal. Vengeance of Jonah is liberal in its approach to edibility and adequate success. The final product is edible. If you close your eyes, it's still probably better pickled. So we gain some supply for that for free. And I might actually do that once more? Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Once. No. I think 4 strange catches. Well, you know what? No. 3 strange catches is enough, because 1 will be turned into a live specimen once we reach the Utter Shroom, and then having 2 to spare will be plenty. And we've gotten that supply from it, too. So that's all our business done at Venderbite. Maybe we'll explore. Ooh. Oh, this is new. Maybe. Perhaps not. Monumental ruins. The builder of this place worked with great slabs of neath wall stone, carved with blank-eyed, unsmiling faces and blocky, stoic serpents. We can search warily, or we can have a nice little picnic. Oh, which will spend some supply. Neath is rarely gentle. Treat this place as an enemy territory. Sure, I kind of want to search here. I want to see if anything up here is interesting for us. Only shadows. This place was deserted long ago. You find traces of guilt on a shattered altar, remnants of vermilion paint on a rotting ritual mask, nothing else. And apparently that's a failure, so we got a bit of terror and a single fragment. Oh well. We'll go and set off without thinking too hard about that one. Maybe get some bats for free supply. Oh, I've totally forgotten. We actually bought a new gun with our massive earnings as well. That's good. Let's go pick them up and gain some supply. Now, it looks like, because this is the route I took, we're headed up to Wither and Codex. I could veer over towards the Undercrow, but since we're already here... There's a Lifeberg. I could start taking those on. They have a little bit more health than I want to risk, especially this early in the voyage. We do still have a long ways to go. we'll just make our way over to Wither without interacting too much with anything here. Okay. Now, anything at the House of the Question? Can ask about the Drowned Man again, the questionable fourth god, I think. And if we had a Watchful Curio, we'd be able to gain some Stone's attention. But sadly, we do not. And not sure Stone's all that good either. But in Wither, we can go grab the port report and probably explore the town. Ah, Contest of Riddles again. Fisherfolk, Zailors, and a couple shady likely pirates. Shady couple of likely pirates, there we go. And is that a drowning down by the water's edge? They sit round a fire at the Z's edge, passing around a bottle of something viscously black. They're wagering on riddles. Now, we're still not very good with pages, but 10 Echo isn't too bad to risk, I think, to venture here. Here's a sardonic woman with a pair of matched knives, a silver hoop earring, and a connate accent. She has a real riddle. Ashes of a fire. She shakes her head slowly. Good try, not good enough. Oh well, we lost the 10 echoes. But we did gain 10 fragments from it, so that's not too bad. We could buy stuff with some Z stories. We do have a fair few, decent amount. But I don't think I'd want to spend any here, especially since most of this, barring the Muter Salt, is obtainable elsewhere. And I don't think we have any use for Muter Salt at the moment either. Unfortunately, we can only sell star shells here. This is something we actually need for our, I want to say for the Gant pole. Obviously, in the Gant pole, the color that's actually available there is Gant, but we need a star shell and some Foxfire candles to actually obtain it. Now, Foxfire candles we won't get in Fallen London. They're much cheaper in the Connate, about 10 echoes cheaper. But star shell we've not come across. I don't think we've ever found that anywhere. From the description here, did a judgment hatch from this grim relic? That might be a judgment's egg converted somehow. But we don't have any of those, and I'm not quite sure where we'd get them even if we did. So I'll have to go keep an eye on that. Either way, that's all of our business done at Wither. So we can keep on setting out here. Over to Codex. Now, there's nothing too interesting in Codex. I very much doubt there will be much that interests us, with the possible exception of a trade for a lamentable relic to an unread log. At the moment, I think we're still sitting on some unread logs, so we won't make that trade. I also don't think we actually have a lamentable relic either. Yeah, we don't have one, so we'll just compile the port report here and move on to the Undercrow next. And that'll be an underwater location. We'll submerge a fair ways out. I have been meaning to spend more time underwater, though not that much more time. You get the drift. I do still very much get concerned by what's down there. But considering what's up here is a Tyrant Moth, we'll go and submerge right out here. And that Tyrant Moth is, I believe, 500 health, which is more than the Lifebergs that we were concerned about, so this will very much be the safer approach. And the location is underwater anyway, so this is definitely the better option. Underwater isn't quite as scary as I'd initially thought. We were very worried for a long, long time, just based on the constant companion, because we were constantly sitting over 50 terror. Oh, what's this? Is that fuel? Looks like barrels of some kind. Oh, yeah, we got some fuel. Okay, that's neat. Unclear of what this is, but our engineer assures us it will burn. +1 fuel. Cool. That's totally neat. And now to the Undercrow, the underwater entrance to Crow. A deep, well-lit cavern thick with a fungal smoke and cave moths. Far above, the lighthouse fire burns. The scent of it is curiously medicinal. It clouds your head and burns your lung. Farther into the fog, you can make out labored breathing. Let's give the almost dead man the sprightly visionary's response. The almost dead man is dismissed from his service. Surely that's good news. Or... Well, let's go grab the port report here. And perhaps talk first to the incomparable Aurelian, the fellow who requested that we drop him off first. And I believe he is the almost dead man's successor, if I understood that correctly. Let's speak with him. You catch him between tending to his ailing friend and preserving an unwisely bold cave moth. A true collector appreciates patience. When my master retired here, we both thought it would be his last destination. Aurelian's eyes take the sheen of a patient man approaching a long-delayed payoff. No one has been present at the most moths hatching before, while no one who is in a condition to remember it afterwards. He spares a hesitant glance over his shoulder at the almost dead man. Of course, being by my master's side during his final days is a necessary part of the process. And the most moth, I believe, is actually what's inside the almost dead man. He had some fluttering going on in his chest that we've determined, so we're pretty sure there's actually a moth in there, a moth egg of some sort, which is spooky, to say the least. But let's give him the response. I don't think we'll lie to him. We didn't read his letter, so I think we'll complete this responsibly. Let's give the sprightly visionary response to the almost dead man, that he is dismissed from his service. Surely that's good news. Accepted with grace. The almost dead man asks you to describe his commander's response in maddening detail. He only desists when an attempt to return the Kaganian salute results in a spasm of pain. As the incomparable Aurelian offers him some water, you watch his ribs rise and fall like the keys on a pianoforte. When the pain has subsided, the old man's grimace settles into a faraway smile. He still wears the ascot I gave him. Apparently they were lovers. Delivered a lover's wordless response. And we now have dying grace and some fragments. Now, it looks like he has more quests for us. I didn't expect that. I kind of expected it to be complete. Very interesting. Okay. So it looks like he wishes for us to deliver a letter of apologies to a flinty latitudinarian at Nook. Conveniently, we're heading there anyway, so sure. The almost dead man assures you, at length, that the latitudinarian is not a man to blame the messenger. To Nook. After a brief consultation with the incomparable Aurelian, the ancient man hands you a sealed letter. I'm told he resides in an etched tooth house in the maw. When I imagine what he could have been. Okay, we've got another letter from him. I wonder if we should read it this time. I don't think we will. We didn't read the last one. We've been kind of honorable when it comes to this particular guy's quest. Especially considering he's seemingly on his deathbed. Well, especially considering his name. He's definitely on his deathbed. I think we're probably... It would be honorable of us to not read these. Don't read it? Yeah. I think I've persuaded myself into not doing that. But that'll be that. And we'll head to Mount Palmerston and then make our way over to Nook. And we'll stay underwater for most of the way. We'll stay underwater for the way to Mount Palmerston at the very least. Because I'm very interested into what's down here. It's not as horrible. Well, probably not as horrible as I thought it would be. Though it does get very, very dark. Now, where is Mount Palmerston? About straight east for us. It's the end of a whirlpool tide. This is pushing in the opposite direction. Whoops. That was not a... Wait, is there an enemy? No. Okay. It's not what I intended to do. Let's scooch along this whirlpool here. Oh, there's something north of us. Oh, that is something big, judging by the size of that ping. You just see it on the very edge of our screen, but it looked rather large. Oh, those torpedo components. I think that is what that is. And we're just off of Mount Palmerston now. In Antha, technically. That's sitting right over there. So let's go surface. So wow, these two really are not separated by much. They are pretty much right next to each other if that is the cape that I'm thinking of. Yeah, Antha's literally right under there. Wow, we got 5 torpedo components? Hold up. What is our hold space looking like? Oh, torpedo components actually don't take up any space. Okay, well, that's good to know. We'll go and dock, though, at Mount Palmerston. Not go up, because we know that they're now guarded by bugs, since we took away the Wistful Deviless, who is also not happy in Fallen London. I don't know what to do about her. She's still very nice, though. And I suppose let's go explore the island. Oh, we have encountered a Blemmigan colony. At the heart of the salty little bog, you come across a pulsing mound of Blemmigans. They are rich, dark purple, like viscera, perhaps, or blackberries. They chitter as they swarm. The sound is like pebbles on a beach. Be careful, a single Blemmigan is a nuisance. 100 are a calamity. Well, we've been pretty good with the Blemmigans so far. We've been delivering a few of them from the Utter Shroom to other places. Let's just observe it. Let's not attack. Fascinating creatures. Learn what you can. Mildly diverting. They're some sort of purple mushroom. Unlike most purple mushrooms, they have tentacles and fangs, and they run around a lot. That's as much as you get. Perhaps your mind's not on it. Okay. A failure there, so not quite as good. But we do want to pick up one ambiguous Eolith. Yes? Yes. Yes, I think we shall. Supplies are still doing great. Fuel we should buy up here, because this would be one of the cheaper locations for fuel. So we'll honestly cap out. By the time we get to Nook, we should have burned through a fair number of it, right? Maybe we'll go to 30. That'll leave us 7 spaces for the sapphires by the time we get to Nook. And I don't think we'll stop off at Antha. I think we might actually travel over water and try to curve around so we can clear some of this darkened space on the map here. There is a ship up north. I believe that's one of the Devil's ship, but it looks like they circled back around. Yeah, so we'll kind of take a higher route, just so we can clear this dark space on the map here. I swear we've already sailed through this, but maybe we had more of it. Yeah, I don't know. We should be sailing right through the center of it down to Nook, though. Yeah, a whole lot of nothing here. I suppose we can send out Z-Bats. As expected. Nothing at all. Oh, though, there's another Corsair. And a lighthouse, it seems, somewhere off in the distance. Is that a Corsair? Sorry, not a Corsair, Corvette. I don't know why I keep calling them Corsairs. I do believe we should be most of the way to Nook, right? Shouldn't be too far out of there. Let's submerge early. We don't have much to lose. Well, we do have much to lose, but I don't think we will lose much of it. Yeah, there's Nook. So we actually have a letter to deliver for the nearly dead man here. also not cleared as much space as I was hoping for. Let me check our hold space. No, we have 7 slots. Okay, we've got enough to trade out our mirror catch box at the very least. Oh, what we do not have, though. We need some mushroom wine to visit Nook. That's one of the few ways that we actually get in. Because if you try to go in, you'll need your diving suit, but people can breathe in Nook, and having a cask of mushroom wine actually gives you the ability to go in without the diving suit, and they don't really talk to you with the diving suit as far as I understand. So we kind of screwed ourselves there. Unfortunate. I think we will pick up probably some supplies here, though. This will be one of the cheaper places out here. Next closest location, probably the Hoot down here, but we aren't planning on really passing through there. Everywhere else is pretty expensive, so we'll pick up some supplies here as well. Oh, I guess a single supply. Right, I forgot that our hold is kind of full right now. Well, hopefully that'll keep us going for a while. We can always buy it at slightly more expensive prices elsewhere. But now we go down to Port Cecil. And this is actually where I'm going to start traveling on the surface primarily, because I believe there should be some morays by Port Cecil. And morays are one of the sea creatures, the sea beasts, that we can actually get those tomb colonists back from. Let's go see if we encounter one. There should be a couple just swimming around in these areas, right? I swear there were. I assume they aren't underwater. Maybe they can go underwater, but we've always been seeing them on the surface. Anywhere? Evidently not. Oh, and it occurs to me we don't actually have space in our hold for the Centillic right now. I think we'll just stop off very quickly, gather the port report, and beyond that, no good shop trades. There are shop trades, but none of them are good. I suppose we can explore with our something awaits us. Ah, the dawn machine is waking again. The light grows in the far southwest. It begins like a distant bonfire, but very rapidly it becomes brighter. It looks remarkably like sunrise. Some of your crew fall to their knees, others duck behind cover or shield their eyes. One cries, "Dawn machine waking." Now, the last time we did this, we looked around. We could look into the light, but with our mirrors and our current history of mirrors checks, our recent history of that, it's probably not a great option. I think looking into it gives you fragments at best. Yeah, so we definitely won't look into it. Let's go look around, though. Memory of distant shores and some terror? That's okay. It's not too bad. Anything like sunlight is rare. Down here, what will you see? All the colors rise in the rocks, the water, the crystal veins of the roof. The Untersee is a rich grassy emerald. The faces of your crew flash in clear and strong. Definitely only supposed to be one and there. You've seen nothing like it since you left the surface. In this place, it is utterly wrong. The light fades suddenly. Men and women cry out, curse. One weeps. Well, that was our encounter in Port Cecil. Which is to say, not much of one. I do wish there was a better reward for that. It does seem like something very much unique. So I feel like there should be a better reward for looking into it, for braving it, than just getting a few fragments. That's very unfortunate. We'll go and sail up here. Ah, there we go. There's a moray. And I need to take an advantageous position here. I'm going to back away continuously. Ooh, is he going to hit me? Not quite. He's also turned around. Ooh, but he's turned back around. Yeah, he's going to hit me this time for sure. Oh, Oh, maybe not. Oh my god, he's barely teasing me with it. Every single time. Okay, we'll go and sink him. Let's see what we can get from him. Let's see if we can rouse up a crewmate here. Or rouse up a... tomb colonist. Do we... You're kidding. I can't rescue a new Jonah? But I don't have a tomb colonist. I'm missing one. Oh, come on. Well... I can't believe that. I know specifically that apparently there's a tomb colonist here, but apparently... okay, well, forget it. We'll go and butcher it for supplies. Damn me, it's an ugly thing. Even uglier dead than alive. Friendlier, though. We picked up an unprepossessing mass and a hunting trophy, as well as some Stygian ivory, and a curious sack. Which it turned out to be a lamentable relic after we sliced it open. Stripped clean. A human skull. This isn't the Z-Beast's stomach. What is it doing in there? Like a seed in a gourd. Yeah. Wait, so it was a human skull not in the stomach? Ooh, interesting. But from here, we'll head up to the north to Irem. We'll pick up probably some supplies. Well, yeah, no, we'll pick up some supplies in the Khanate. Not any fuel, though. I think we're good on fuel for now. I suppose it's not a bad idea to stop at Frostfound, considering that they will always give us fuel, supplies, and a terror reduction. For essentially free. Just a something awaits us, I believe. So, yeah, we're just south of the Khanate here, I think. Apparently you can only open those ones if your past is a fallen priest. Oh, interesting. So my only option for getting one is polythreme. Dang. That is annoying. That's rough. But we'll gather the port report. So we've got some menaces to spare. Let's go check on our intelligence network. Wait, what? Oh, that was not what I meant to do. I guess we've sought intelligence. Message arrives on a tiny fish-skin sliver bound inside a copper ring. The cipher speaks of fleet movements and power struggles. London will want to know this, but your agents have attracted attention. So we've lost one of our networks. Right. We couldn't interact with our network because we actually had it at max, I think. But we did get the vital intelligence from it, as well as a memory of distant shores, so not too bad. But now, we should be able to interact with them, see what they actually need from us. We could use the vital intelligence that we just gained. Or we could drop 300 echo. I would rather keep the vital intelligence, so let's just try this. The Cangadian suspicion is raised. We failed. We're still able to enter the Nefrit quarter, though. But we have unfortunately lost that 300 echo. So let's enter the quarter so we can gain access to that. Might not be able to get one at polythreme. Oh no, that sucks. Well, I might have to just drop off these tomb colonists as is. Might only be available to you before you go to the Chalinet. Well, shoot, that's not good. I think I'm going to pick up Foxfire candles. In fact, I think I might pick up. No, I think that amount should be fine. 5 will be fine. I'm thinking of going to Godfall, because we haven't actually adventured through the castle there. I'm very interested in that. Very interested indeed. And the rest of our space will fill up with fuel, so we'll get back up to 25. No, we won't. We'll fill up with supplies. What am I talking about? 11 supplies. That should do us for a little bit. But after we've been here, we'll head up to... Frostfound. Then Irem. Down to the Chelinet. And we'll try out Polythreum. I really hope we can get another Tomb Colonist there. If not, oh well. We had to head through there anyway. We'll probably head up past Tahoot to Port Cecil and then down to the Utter Shroom. Yes, I think that'll be the case. Let's get set off to Frostfound here. We'll go turn off our light to save some fuel. With our lights on, our terror should reduce, hopefully enough to get our terror pips down to 0 there. Not quite, but will at least be lowered by the time we set off for Frostfound, which should be just over here. And we'll get in there all right. Hello, Frostfound. We'll go grab the port from you guys and grab some tea with you for the terror reduction and the fuel and supplies gained. And we will immediately set off because we've got nothing left to do over at Frostfound for the moment. But that'll reduce our terror down to 29, so pretty good. We're not too high up anymore. We were a little closer to 50 than I was hoping we would be. With that, we'll head over to Irem. There's actually a lot of the area around Irem that we haven't actually explored, so maybe I'll head a little north here. We'll kind of circle around it the other way, unless the snowstorm that I kind of see on the very northern edges of our vision gets in our way. Ooh, yeah, that's definitely getting in our way. We don't want to sail into that. That'll hamper our engines for sure. And there's Irem. Someday we ought to sail around to the north of this, see what's up there. We've got the Eternal City of Irem. We will trade one of our Dark Drop coffee beans to enter the dream, I think. But first thing we should do is pick up a Watchful Curio here. That we will be able to turn into Port Cecil to the principals. I don't think we need any more strange catches, and the fuel and supply are, of course, very costly. I don't know... Well, we can actually buy more Searing Enigmas here for Extraordinary Implications. Those are a little bit costly to purchase, but if we have them, that'll be nice. And this is the only place we've seen a trade for the Dread Surmise, but unfortunately that is a sell rather than a buy. That would get us 10 Searing Enigmas, so it is worth quite a bit. Yeah, but I think that's all the purchasing and trade we'll be doing here. Let's go grab a port report. We'll keep our lamentable relic. And rest in the House of the Amber Sky by paying in coffee. So. So we can go and, if we had a wound, go find a solace fruit. Not that we need them anymore. We haven't really needed them for a while, and they kind of just take up space. They don't really do much. We could just rest, recover, and dream. The Parabox is our item that'll let us colonize Aestival, as mentioned. That, again, needs all of our stats up high here. I'm very interested in the rarest fruit. Very interested in that indeed. I might actually go for that. It costs us a Searing Enigma, but worst comes to worst, we can use a bunch of secrets to get another one. In the furthest south, in the arms of a god called Stone, a garden blooms. In ages past, birds stole the seeds from that garden. One bird hid here in the Mirror Marshes. Perhaps you know the story. Seeds from that garden. Maybe that's, maybe that is the, fruit of the eternal tree. Maybe that's what that's talking about. You know what? Let's go check it out. Let's go hear what they have to say. The eternal tree. Hey, there we go. Oh, we actually just got the fruit. Okay. That's totally worth it then. The eternal tree. This is the apple tree which will never die. Should the forests fail and the river run to ash, still it will stand proudly. Take only one apple, serpents are sleeping. We've lost a Searing Enigma, but we've now got a Hesperidian apple. These do not grow on or under the world. Okay, so I guess that's the only trade, the only place you can get that then. I thought we would get it more by sailing off the southern edge of the map, but yeah, that totally works out. So is that something in our hold? No, it's not. Sweet. It's something that is totally free too, and evidently we can use it. So I think that would be a bit costly. Not quite sure what they do either. Yeah, that's super interesting. But that's all of our business in Irem. Let's head on down to the Chelonit. We'll kind of skip over the Gant Pole for now. There's nothing of great interest there. Well, shall we? You know what? Let's go take a trip under the waters. We haven't actually submerged north of the Gant Pole, so let's go see what there is between us. And our terror, yeah, our terror is nice and low. So we should be good there. What? What did I run into? Oh, you're kidding. That? I cannot believe that is something I could collide with. I couldn't see that at all. So these must be the undersides of those bones we see on the surface. Interesting. They're still a little bloody, kind of alive. I guess this is the massive sea beast that died of natural causes. At least I assume so. It's taken quite a long time to decay, though. Though I guess so does everything else in the Sunless Sea. So. Well, let's go stop off in the Gant Pole. We will compile a port report. We won't be using our Foxfire Candle to go further in there because we still don't have that star shell. Could speak to the fading horror specs, but there's nothing really about her that we need to ask. I think we've already asked all our questions, so we've not given her a new beast to provide the answers with. Specifically for the sixth witness that we talked to over in, I want to say King Eater's Castle is where we found her, who had a question for the Fading Horror specs. We've not given her a corpse to go and test out that question on, though. So we'll go cut off some flesh for the Chelonit. It'll just, get us some money. And, probably some supplies here as well, because supplies are pretty cheap. Shan't trade our live specimen for more strange catches, though. We have plenty of strange catches, more than we really need. So let's buy some supplies. Really, as many as we can. And then set out for the Chelonite, which should just be right across from here. I think we should actually surface, because I do end up going underneath the Chelonite. It is a floating location rather than an underwater one. Yeah, see, I would have sailed right past it, right under it, before even knowing it. We'll go get here, though. We will sell off our rancid flesh for 200 echo. Trade our caskets of sapphires. And grab a port report. There it is. And I don't think we need any more outlandish artifacts. I think the hunting trophies are much more useful for us. That'll be us done here. Now, next we will head to how's our hold space doing? Doing all right. I think the option here is to go to... Let's head to Polythreme. We will head up to Dehoot and then to Godfall, so we can use up those Foxfire candles. Then over to Port Cecil to trade for one of the many items that we have for the principals over there. And then kind of backtrack down to the Utter Shroom to go trade our strange catchaway. Yeah, I think that'll be our plan here. So down to Polythreme will be our decision. Actually, the Eater of Names is over here, isn't it? It's on the far side of the Chelonite. So that is a little bit more powerful than I really want to deal with at the moment. Right? Right. Yeah. Yeah, with the supplies we've got right now, yeah, no. No, I think that will be... One day we will specifically go on a hunt for some of the harder to fetch items, which are mostly the ones that involve fighting off various beasties of variety. Even though it's been indicated that the ability to get Tomb Colonists may not be available at Polythreme anymore, I'm still holding out hope that it is. I'm still holding out hope that we could find one there. There's a big crab. You know what? How much health do you have? 600? No. No, sir. If that was like a 200 to 300 health crab, I would take it on. I wouldn't mind that one so much, but 600 health, he is out of my ability to fight. Or at least I think so. We've made it to Polythreme, so we're good on that. We won't warn the merchants about Rack. We won't cure the sharpness we gained in Antha. We will grab the port report, though. We could have an audience with the king, but I think not. Oh, no, he actually only wants the Watchful Curio as an audience, and then he'll actually turn that into a Awoken something. We'll go sell the Stygian Ivory at the very least. I don't actually need that for anything. It's kind of just taking up space at the moment. And we will probably be done here then. Probably set out to... Not to Hoot, to Godfall, to Aeshaven? Aestival. Aeshaven, that's the one. You know, I wonder if those two locations actually have a connection. because they are named very similarly. Aestival could be, or a shaven rather, could be the part of the surface, the part of the roof here that fell out of the sky and left a stivel, yeah, a stivel open to sunlight. That could actually be the separating factor here. There's an unfinished ship, which we could take on if it wants to make a ruckus. Oh yeah, he wants to make a ruckus. Wow, wait, he can back up? I had no idea that the other ships could back up. We'll go and run these unfinished pirates off and see if they had anything for us. Spider silk. Not super enticing to me, but not too bad either. We may fill up some fuel at Dahoot, actually. I was considering skipping it, so I would have more room for, for Centillic that we'll be getting from the principals here, but that's probably a poor option considering the amount of fuel that we're currently at. I do believe we are right over it right now, though, so we'll have to wait until we're over here-ish. Really? There we go. We should be able to 180 straight into Dahoot's docks. And sadly, we did not actually get a tomb colonist there, so I guess we're just going to have to drop our tomb colonists off at the levels that they are now. A little unfortunate, but could be worse. For fuel, I'd like to submit 2 of the things that the principals want. And I think each of those give us 7-ish Centillic, so that'll require us leaving 14 spaces open, that will mean we can go up to 66. Ooh, that's not very much fuel at all. You know, it's a decent way. Let's get up to that much fuel. That'll get us over there. It'll burn enough fuel for everything to spare, right? I think it will. We'll be good with that. Go and grab the port report here, even though it is not going to be accurate, and we are not going to stay a while. I think we are very much going to leave. Then we can water look and make no commitments, though. Water and air, it's the same thing here. Betrayal of nature or truce between opposites. Swim up the side of the cathedral if you like and peer in through its rose windows. You won't be able to make out anything inside. Breathe deep, fill your lungs with a substance cooler and more cleansing than ordinary air. Walk in the gardens with the fish around your knees. Do not ask questions about the king of this place. Those will go unanswered. Oh, that lost us some terror. Okay, so wow, that's actually a really good trade. I should remember to do that more often. Though I assume at some point it'll do the Grand Geode thing where it will give me a spike in terror for no reason whatsoever. Or rather, for noticing something that I wasn't probably supposed to. We should be good over here to head straight over to Godfall, and we'll stay underwater for the majority of that trip. That'll be Aestival's Island above us, I think. The screaming faces on the ocean floor, as far as I can tell, are still completely unexplained, so not sure about a lot of that stuff. But here is the dock. You can see the point out there. Stick of it. And that is where we will set into. Godfall. The pirate monks. So we'll go pick up port report, and we have enough foxfire candles to go and adventure around this place. The more the better. Bad things will happen if you run out. Maybe I should take a short trip up to the Khanate. Yeah, maybe I should take a short trip up to the Khanate to pick up more Foxfire candles. Just kind of maybe double the amount that we have, just in case it takes more than is necessary. I think that would be a good idea. We can always get some more later. It'll use up a bit of fuel, a bit of supply, but those are both things that we need to reduce before we get over to Port Cecil, so that should be alright. And we can always pick up more of either in, well, anywhere. We've got the cash for it, but most efficiently in Dahoot. Now, let's go open up the Nefrite Quarter. If I can find that. There it is. And pick up 5 more Foxfire candles. Nothing to sell to them, fortunately. But this should give us much more than we need for that sort of thing. That should give us plenty of Foxfire candles to explore Godfall with, to explore Ace Shaven with. Go explore down back to Godfall, and then we will check out Spooky Old Monastery with our Foxfire candles. Okay, so that's the very tip of it. Should be over here-ish. There it is. Okay, so let's go explore the Shattered Citadel. Before the stalactite was a monastery, before it ever fell from the roof, it was a citadel. The fall shattered it and and killed all its occupants. Probably. Why don't you take a look? Let's do it. Through the cellars, the monks have blocked the tunnels into the citadel. The starved men lived there, one says vaguely. They're all dead, of course, but you wouldn't want to meet them. Still, there's a gap in the cellar wall that they keep meaning to fix. Ooh, spooky. Okay, all the neath is dark. The citadel is dark as only a once bright place can be. It hung up there for among the false stars, drowned in azure light for how long? Now it's here, so are you. So we can either leave, retrace our steps, or go deeper. And of course we will go deeper here. The citadel lies on its side. All its halls and tunnels tilt crazily. Edge your way through like an ant through a broken puzzle box. And we should make sure that we don't go venturing for more than 7 days, it looks like. Yeah. Onwards. You found your way deeper into the citadel. Lost a Foxfire candle. Apparently we got something called light flares. You found something, or it's found you. A labyrinth of dwelling galleries. You hear the Z. The passage branches and opens into a tangle of galleries on the skin of the surface. There are doorways leading to dwelling places, all empty now, all leading into one another like cells of a honeycomb. Perhaps you can find your way through. Sure, let's give it a try. Painstaking progress. You make your way through an asymmetrical foam of beehive dwellings, past painted frescoes of the sea seen from above. Beneath swags of cobweb, where single sorrow spiders scuttle, past a long mummied human corpse. Its limbs are curled and knotted like vines. What happened here? Not sure. We're gonna keep going. We've got 8, so once we get to 5, we'll start heading back. Creep across a chasm. The stalactite is cracked right across. That crack is a plunging chasm. The dark sea thunders below. You can probably get across. After all, you are zailors. Zailors have rope. Dang straight we do. A difficult crossing. It's harder in the candlelit gloom than it would be in the deck of a ship. Really? You think that? Oh, I guess are there tides in underwater seas? I have no idea. Anyway, the crevices of the stalactite seem alive with eyes, but you make it safely across, and we've gained a little bit of terror as well. Okay, nothing of interest there. Let's keep going through. Ooh. So we can either search the Church of the Starved Men, a cruciform chamber with a great altar, rows of rotting pews, perhaps the window once held stained glass. The altar is dripstone painstakingly carved into organic shapes, joined limbs, eye bulbs, snapping claws, armored excrescences? Not sure about that. But apparently we actually have an interaction with the nacreous outcast that we just picked up. Let the nacreous outcast approach the altar. He burbles, his frondles tremble. Imitators, the outcast burbles. They stole our axile arch. They fought. They would be ush. It shakes with rage or laughter and collapses before the altar. Still, the change remains. The change remains. It's the longest speech you've ever heard from it. It remains motionless in prayer while you search. An inscription on the altar reads, "So are we shaped." The stonecraft is perfect, but the spelling seems eccentric. 2 stone knives rest on its surface, along with a chunk of flint that might be a knife or tool or simply a lump of rock. 3 human skulls wait in a niche at the back. 2 have warped and lengthened jaws. The third has slumped and run like a melted candle, though it feels as solid as any bone to the touch. What now? You can press on, but the going will get harder from here, or you could turn back with your treasures. Treasures being 3 secrets, 2 outlandish artifacts, 3 lamentable relics, and an ambiguous eolith, another one. Interesting. So, according to our outcast here, our rubbery man, apparently the folks in the Citadel tried to turn themselves into sort of rubbery men. Presumably that is what the warped bones and melted bones really are. How very interesting. I think, though, that we shall continue on until we have 5 foxfire candles. Continue as deep as we can here. Horror's Walk. That's a new one. So, you found something here. Found you. Fight off a frenzied assault. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. A rabble of leathery mummy things, mouths agape, come boiling from crevices. Crooked limbs reach for you. Yeah, we'll go fight you off. We are a soldier. We are a captain. We will fight through whatever this is. Push through. They're tenacious, these leather remnants, but not strong. Some forces distorted remnants of women and men into ragged, furious mannequins. They still breathe. They still ate. Bat-like blood runs from the mouth of this one before you take off its head with a swing of your cutlass. Then they're behind you, their roars of incredulous rage fading. So let's keep going. We've got 1 more candle with which to go. And then we'll head back. If we head all the way out in one go, I'll be a little disappointed, but that'll be all right. We've got our last push onwards. A nasty moment. These tunnels coil like intestines. The stalactite seems to pulse with the beat of an unknown heart, and we've actually only got a 67% chance of succeeding in this. But luckily we do. Stale air, the gases down here will maze the mind and convulse the spirit. Press on. You're kidding. That's it? That's our last? Well, I guess that's our last free explorer. We'll go and retrace our steps out. Back, out, up, before. Very quickly, directions in here become impossible. Closer to safety. There you go. Familiar footsteps in the dust. Silence. Silence. Yeah, so it does look like we will have to head on back. We've reached the midpoint of the Citadel. Okay, so that was the 3rd room is the middle of the Citadel? Dang, if we brought 1 more candle. No, two more candles, we would have been able to go all the way. That's super unfortunate. Yeah, and here we are back to the beginning. So I guess this is 6 rooms or thereabouts deep to get to the. We should remember that for the next time we return here. It's very close to the Khanate, which is where we can get our Foxfire candles. So we are totally able to go and pick that up. We just have to have the space for it. So I'll mark that down. Instead of Foxfire candles times 5, which we had from the recommendations, we'll make sure to bring 12 the next time we show up. But for now, let's head out. A cheer. Money changes hands between monks as you emerge, blinking into the light of their lamps. It is their custom to make bets on the fate of the travelers who enter the citadel. Not all of them are cheering. And, oh, we totally forgot about the another day bit as well. Yeah, we totally forgot we had to count the number of days we had spent in there. And I don't know if a day passed for every room we went through, so... Yeah, super weird. But we did successfully explore that, so... Next time we'll come back here and explore it properly. Explore it all the way to the end. Maybe we'll bring more than 12 Foxfire candles too, just in case, just to hedge our bets. But that should have cleared out quite a bit of hold space. Yeah, a lovely amount. Unfortunately, we picked up... Where's that at? Oh. Oh, hold on. No, ambiguous aethylists don't actually take up space. So, yeah, we didn't take up any space here. We're totally good. So let's go head over to Port Cecil. We'll head there, and then we'll head back to the Hoot to refuel and fill up on supplies and whatnot. And then we'll move on. We'll move down to the Uttershroom, probably, and elsewhere down in the south. Oh, there's another moray. Shall I fight with him? He doesn't offer me any grief. I don't think I will. We already determined that we can't actually get our tomb colonists back, so unfortunate. Dang, I really thought there would be at least some way to get tomb colonists back. But I guess that was a one and done. I should have made a better choice. I should have made it a safe cruise rather than a exciting cruise, which I ended up deciding on the very last part of the venture. Unfortunate. Now that we've made it to Port Cecil, let's go talk to the principals again. So... Oh, did he not want a... Hold on. Hold on just a... questing second here. You specifically requested an ambiguous Elith, a boot core. Oh, a wakeful idol. So we actually need to trade out our idol over in Polythreme anyway. Okay, so we'll go back there and trade that out probably, and trade that into here. Both these things, unfortunately, don't take up. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, don't take up any cargo space. I'd much like to get the wakeful idol out of the way first. But let's give it an ambiguous Elith, since we have two. We've got some spare. The great chain of being is rigid, but the shapelings know its weak places. This is for I have sent my emissary. He knows. This is one of his. Thank you. I will be much less, and I will sleep forever. Right, because the principals don't want to exist anymore, I think. Kneel, kneel, and my emissary will gift you Scintilic, the secret. The bazaar brought us all us shapelings, exiles, the flukes, the misers, even my emissary. Why? Too deep a secret for me, my friend. Even here, too deep for me. Perhaps when you end me. So we've gained a secret, we've gained 7 Scintilic, as expected. And we've succeeded in that. And we'll not give this, because I do want to turn in this idol once it turns into a wakeful idol. We want to turn that in just to get it out of our hold, our cargo hold, since it is taking up space that we could use for many more valuable things. So we'll just make a quick return trip to Polythreme. Maybe that opportunity will pop up again. The one that was indicated to have the potential to give a a tomb colonist. That's the hope. That's the dream. If I end up reaching back over to the west side, if I end up getting back to Fallen London and everything, I think I will end up just going to Venderbite and turning on it in all of the tomb colonists there. Let's keep out of this fellow's circling. Right? Please? No. Okay, well, we're going to have to deal with this guy then. Conveniently, he's left his aft to us. So we can go outmaneuver him and take him down. Ooh, wow, you got a shot in. Color me impressed. But not all that impressed. Go check. The Unfinished Men had another... Oh, no, actually, a parabola linen. Parabola is the serpent placed behind mirrors, or someone made that up, but in that case, where do they weave the sleek and ambery glimmering cloth? So we've got that. And that is, I do believe, actually taking up hold space, which is not the best. Yeah, not the best at all. We'll make our way over to Polythreme. We've got the Something Awaits Us already, since we've headed quite a distance to get it. And we'll actually have to stop at Dahoud again to top off our fuel and supplies. But we now have some space, and we'll know exactly how many spots we have to fill by the time we get there. We will be headed straight for Port Cecil. That'll probably take about 2, maybe 3 fuel from where Dahoud is to get to Port Cecil. So we can calculate that out for fuel. Oh, here's the nightmare. What are we at? Ooh, the top. And a tough challenge. 1 in 3 chance. Since we're already at 5, reducing it is going to reduce it by 1 every time, and that's going to use up our restful nights. We might as well roll the dice here, which unfortunately failed. Oh, right, and that gives so much terror. Ugh. And we gained another menace, and we lost a restful night, no matter what. Okay. So, we failed to face off against that. We just have to have 1 success there, and then that'll clear 5 of that for us, though. At this point, we're climbing up to having another 5 before that point even comes. But our terror is now a little too high. A little too high for comfort. We'll go trade in our Watchful Curio to a Wakeful Idol, where it will birth here. And everything else is secondary. But now we actually need to worry about the underwater portions of the map. We need to watch for the Constant Companion. And I don't know if there's any text or anything that indicates when or if he's on you. Just that scuttling once you get actually below the surface. So we'll go down to Dahoud. At least we'll be able to reduce our terror there by making, commitments and whatnot. That'll be nice. But we'll have to go fill up on supplies and fuel there, because we are running dangerously low. And we should be able to submerge right outside this face to go and line ourselves up with the dock there. Oh, that skittling is back. But the skittling has disappeared. Interesting. Well, we'll go do this to reduce our fear a little bit. no new interest here. But okay, for fuel and supplies, we'll buy up supplies first. I think 10 will be a safe amount. And beyond that, we need to have 6 spaces. Yeah, 6 spaces in cargo when we reach Port Cecil, which will be 2 fuel barrels later. So 4 spaces under max. Yes, 4 spaces under max is all we need. So we can buy up to that. Oh, we can actually sell our bale of parable linen, which I happily shall to free up some space. And plus it'll get us some echo recovered from our fuel purchases, but let's see, so up to 76. 4 spaces under max. We'll use 2 getting to Port Cecil. Then we'll drop off our Wakeful Idol and take on the Scintilic. It's a really fun location to offload that stuff for preferably better prices than are available in Fallen London. Fallen London, I believe, buys them for 70 Echo? Let me double check that. Yes, Fallen London buys them for 70 Echo. So we want to find any place, any location that buys them for more than that. Now, one of the Iron Republic's markets, the Parliament of Flies, buys it at 74 Echo, but that is a random chance thing, depending on what market we actually have access to when we arrive there. Looking at places further east, Antha buys them for meter salt, but I really wouldn't like to trade again to have that work out. Yeah, not a whole lot of places, actually. Not a whole lot of places at all. Scintilic. Really? I thought that would be a much more common purchase. Yeah, another Iron Republic market buys it, but yeah, there's really not a whole lot of places to buy Scintilic, so we might have to just cart it all the way back to Fallen London. That's not great. That's not great at all. That's a ways away from here, and we're planning on skimming other locations, so we're just going to have a hull full of Scintilic for a while. But let's go and immediately surface as soon as we get out of here so we don't run into that constant companion. I'm not sure why that skittering went away. I think the constant companion might have shown up somewhere. He might have like actually been a physical presence there instead of kind of the skittering that's just all around. I think he kind of drops into view after that, but he might have shown up and like immediately walked off in the opposite direction or like somewhere behind us where we sailed away from, which is why the skittering went away. But he wasn't within range to attack us, and we didn't see him at all. He wasn't creepy and stuff. Well, he was creepy, but only for a moment. So I'm going to call that a success. And we are back in the principles again with the Port Cecil, right on the edge of our screen that we're making our way towards. And then we'll double back for the 3rd time, head over to the Utter Shroom. Whoops. Yes, the extra move. Kindly take the wakeful idol. That gorgeous little spark, a counterweight. I will devolve, and my emissary must end with me. To satisfy the chain, we must have an ascension. This little fellow shall rise as I descend. Perhaps you can take her with you. Really? Okay. So we might get a clay man as perhaps an officer of some kind. Because it sounds like they are going to imbue the wakeful idol with like a to get a personality. That's what I understand. Yeah, really interesting. But I'll at least get rid of that. Here, your scintillic, another secret. I have so few remaining. Will you despoil me further? You will. No, I am tired. No secret for you today. If you press me, I will sulk. I am old. I want to be less than I am. I want to be only coral. Call that a secret, if you must. So yeah, the principals are actually the coral themselves. They for some reason have consciousness, which is weird. It is the Sunless Sea, though. Everything here is weird. But we've traded the wakeful idol and filled our hold cargo, our cargo space, to the brim now. All we've got left is a heart metal ingot, for which I have a long box already. You can go get that at Station 3. A fluke core and a hunting trophy, which I do have at the moment as well, to give to this before, presumably, it no longer has consciousness, before it's no longer awake. Interesting. Okay. We definitely don't have the hold space to give it the hunting trophy right now, though. We'll leave that for a later date. And probably go head out of Port Cecil, right? I suppose we could explore some more. If there's something awaits us. Ah, another Zeman. We could help him. Yeah, sure, let's take him with it. It'll be a little high on crew, but in the event that we happen to lose any, it'll be nice to have some spare. Only a little bit. I think 2021 is about where I'm comfortable at having crew. I can calculate the food consumption rates for that, and then as soon as you start going over, that's when it starts being a problem. But this should do the trick. Sir, I'm a good Zeman. I'm yours if you'll have me. Will you have me? I'm hungry. I'll work hard. He seems likely enough, if a little ragged and sorrowful. Let's take him with you. You could use an extra hand. You won't be sorry. I'll work double watches. Ask anyone. They'll tell you I have a good name. Yes, yes. Eventually you get him to stop talking. His enthusiasm is promising, if a little pitiable. There may be further effects from this decision. Not sure what those effects will be, but... and he's keeping a shrine to Salt, which we will let. A certain matter has become clear. But that also gave us Salt's attention, which I thought we already had. Maybe we didn't. You let him keep his Salt circle and his chalked arrow. That night, as you stand on the foredeck, a soft breeze comes out of the east, the Salt's direction, tussles your hair, and passes. So we picked up a Salt cultist, sort of. Now, to head to the Utter Shroom, then probably not all the way south. I was thinking of visiting Varkas, Adams Way, all those areas down there. Maybe the Melting Isles, too. I think we actually have a mission to go to the Melting Isles for the Admiralty. Well, maybe we'll head south. But we do need to make our way up to Station 3 still to get that heart metal ingot. And then probably over to Rack. I can't recall what our most recent Rack request was. Isn't that a lot of alliteration? But I do want to see how they're going for. And if we can pick up a new set of unfortunate visitors to there, I would like to check that out. We've also seen quite a lot of the Tether storyline. We've seen quite a bit of that. I can't quite recall what I've got left to actually look at there, so let's skip out on Varkas and Adams Way on this particular trip. We'll head down to the other shroom, maybe to the Melting Isles, but then we'll head across to Station 3, maybe stopping at Rosegate or Visage on the way, and then up to Rack eventually. I don't think we have any more locations that we need to specifically visit. Barring, of course, Nook, but we can't actually get into that without the mushroom wine that we unfortunately did not have. We forgot to bring. And we are not going to Hideaway because we forgot to bring the mushroom wine, and two, the Firkin of Prisoner's honey that the impolite investigator over there, the detective, wanted to kind of get himself back to normal. But, yeah, we do have to enact that plan, so let's go over to the other shroom. Oh, with a moray swimming steadily towards us, so he'll go and turn away. So that's alright. Dang, I am really unhappy with the fact that we gained so much terror from that nightmare event. I really hoped that we could get it that time. I don't know if it goes up or down or stays the same the more times you interact with it, the chance that you have to actually succeed there. But since it gives you a secret, and since my Nightmare's menace is already so high, I really don't have the option to keep reducing it. It'll just waste my restful nights, more so than it already is. I'd rather use the restful nights to give the possible chance to reduce 5 of that at a time. And hopefully we won't have to interact with that anymore. Whoa, that's a dreadnought. How much health do those dreadnoughts actually have? Oh no, there's a war trimaran. Oh, look at that. A horror below? Let's go pick it up. 5 more terror. A tale of terror. Oh, we lost some hull, though. Wow, this is actually a new one. So usually it's the thing that screams like a woman, but apparently it's different this time. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook? Your crew attempts to dissuade you, but you are determined. The nets and harpoons come out, and you busy yourself. The sea roils. The ship pitches wildly. Below the ship, for an instant, you see a vast eye glare up, golden as a lost sun. Sailors cry out and fall to their knees. It closes, and the sea is dark again. So that was a success. Wow. What a thing. I didn't even check the original interaction with that either. I just kind of went through it. So we gained a tale of terror, lost a bit of hull, gained 5 terror and some fragments. And I would like to not deal with this guy, though he may not leave me a choice here. Well, no, it looks like he's actually lost sight of us, so we should be good to go on and enter the other shroom. Oh, if he's off of our tail here. I'll have to go back and look at that footage to see what it actually was. I just assumed there's something in the sea again. But we've gone and done this. Oh, we actually have gifts. A gift. Psst, psst. Zegoer, here. Shroom has something for you. Fell long ago. Best elsewhere now. A ray-drenched cinder. The shroom won't touch it with her bare skin. Wise, nor should you. It's scorched and twisted. The fungus flesh that it lies on. Its cosmogon glow has dyed the air around it. Ooh, there we go. Cosmogon, that's another color. Mother of Mushrooms is grateful, explains the shroomer. You've cast her far. She gives you a jewel. Interesting. Yeah, super interesting. Let's go get our live specimen here. And gather some more intelligence. Unfortunately for us, we didn't get any free blemigans when we did that, but oh well. You lost a lot of blemigans abroad. Yeah, I went from 9 to 2. Yeah, that was from... So I guess every 7 we get a gift. It seemed like there was another gift we could have gotten as well, so we'll see what we end up getting the next time we get that out there. We'll have to bring more firkins of prisoners' honey to keep propagating them. I'll be very interested in that. Do you still want to... Yeah, you still want to stay on the ship. So that'll be that. Let's go play with our poor fella here. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this is not what I expected to get from playing with it. You can see an indentation of a porthole in the rim of its cap. It must have been pressing its face to the windows again. Is it bored? A vivid imagination. You pull out your second-best chart and several pens. The bottom again squeaks and bounces over, upending an inkpot in its excitement. You were ignored for several hours when you return to find it on your pillow, snoring quietly. Your map has 3 new islands, a note reading simply, "Here are lions," and a drawing of... Well, it looks like a lot more... It looks a lot more like a fast spider than a lion. Thank goodness there's nothing like that at Z. Yeah. No spiders at Z. Those definitely don't exist. Let's go set off to the Udder Shroom. Sorry, not to the Udder Shroom. To the Melting Isles, though. So we're done here at the Udder Shroom. We'll be able to gather some supplies there, too. How much has this crab got? This one, I might be able to take on, actually. I do need the reduction in terror here, so... You know what? It already knows we're here. Do about 40-ish damage at a time. I think we can take it. Oh, it's submerged. Luckily for us, it didn't move, though. And this is not quite as bad as I thought it would be. Oh, we need to not go into this fog bank, though. Okay, this should be the last shot to take it down. So maybe fighting Z-Beasts isn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. I wonder if that is one of the... one of the bigger things. I don't think the Fading Haruspecs had that specifically on our list, but we'll see. You've destroyed an eastern angler crab. The shell is shattered. The glowing Ilisii lie silent. Let's go butcher it here. 3 supplies, lovely, and a curious sack, which has more supplies. Z-eggs. Call them Z-eggs, the bosun suggests. We don't want to tell the crew what they actually are. They're safe to eat, but, you know. So we got 4 supplies off of that, which is pretty good, considering I was concerned about our supply situation a second ago. And we've also gained a little bit more knowledge of how to fight those things. Specifically that we can without too much problem. I'm very concerned in general about fighting Z-Beasts because it's much more difficult to stay safe from them. But I guess if they do like that, that'll be all right. How much did that reduce our terror by? A fair bit. Oh, look. Something down there again. This one is just the standard. And we got another strange catch. So yeah, this is the one where our zailors say it screams like a woman. This is that bit. But here should be the Melting Isles. Stuck in the middle of a foggy area for some reason. There's Mangrove College. So, we could pick up a passenger. I think they take up hold space, unfortunately. We can convert memories of distant shores into secrets. Probably better with Z stories, though. We have more of those. And we can get our contact, who will clear our hunger for us and give us some Mutrasalt as well. Yeah, so that'll give us another strategic information. We'll actually combine 2 of those once we finish up here. Oh, we actually got a port report and some supply for that. We'll probably combine 2 of those into another vital intelligence. That'll be nice. And let's go convert some of these into secrets. 19 secrets, so that's pretty good. So we've unpicked some mysteries of the Sea. Some of the old philosophers of the college have the grizzled air of old sailors, zailors, retired mariners, or pirates who have come here to avoid attention. Vivid stories. A wary hermit, her eyes bright, helps you sift truth from nonsense. By the end of it, she sighs with longing. The Z, she says, but no, I'm here for good. Now, we still have a something awaits us to be used here. Apparently, this does not require a something awaits us. Let's go pick up a passenger, I suppose, who wishes to go to Guiders More. That's sort of on our way. A shady sort. What we'll use our something awaits us on. Eating, drinking, and being merry? Our terror is pretty high. I was going to do supplies, but now that our supplies are squared up, probably not the best idea. So let's just eat, drink, and be merry here. The philosophers of the college are not hospitable, but this whole shoreline is bursting with fruit and edible fungus. Reach up and it falls into your hand, pick it up, and it's already fermented. So that'll at least lose us some terror. An explosion of tastes, tart morels and moral tart. The salty tang of Z-weed stew, a crawling berry that the locals assure you is a motile plant, not an insect. Eat your fill and drink contemplatively. That we shall. That we shall. And we'll keep all of these. I do like having a fair bit. Maybe that's more than we need. In fact, I think it is. I'll do 1 more of each. So unpick mysteries of the other lands. Scholars of the college are hungry for lore. They'll help you put the pieces together. A dozen strands, a single knot. It all makes sense now, or sense enough at least. That'll turn our memories of distant shores into that, and we'll still have 10, so I think that's okay. Oh, and we now don't have enough fragments, so we'll have excess Z stories, but 10 memories of distant shores should still be fine. I don't think that'll be a problem for us. And now off to... Probably not Rosegate. I don't really want to go under the surface. We might just skip straight over to Station 3. Maybe visit the Isle of Cats and head north from there. So let's see how much cargo space we've got. Because the Isle of Cats, I do believe she wishes... you know... We should have kept that prisoner. We should have kept that prisoner because our contact on the Isle of Cats wishes for someone. And a prisoner is one of the options we can actually give. Dang. Okay, well we just have to wait for somebody to go insane then. We have to wait for somebody to go mad. So I guess we'll skip the Isle of Cats for this round. Let's go and set off for Station 3. Station 3, then up to Guiders More, and then over to Rack, I think, will be our path. And I feel like we're going to have to pick up fuel from somewhere. Fuel or supplies. So those are all distant locations, and none of them are locations that I believe have fuel. We can get it at Guiders Morn, but that'll be an absolute thievery if we do. Maybe Rosegate, I'm pretty sure doesn't have it. Let me take a look at that. Oh, Rosegate does have it, but they have it at, well, thievery levels. They have fuel. I really don't know. I don't know at all. We'll just skip on over to Station 3, though. I don't wish to stop at Visage again. They quite annoy me. They burnt down Pigmode Isle, and I hate them for it. Maybe I should go there and equip... I want to say it was the Bat Mask? I think it was the Bat Mask, which involved blood, I think, according to the description of that. There was the one that was curious, the one that was greedy, and the one that had to do a lot with fighting and iron, I think. I'm pretty sure the bat was that last one. Go and stop off here, though. Right, there is... This is the weapon. That we will eventually need to do. Probably. I suppose... Let's go ask the smith how he got here. So for the background, if you don't remember, this is the Cannoneer's compatriot over in Station 3, who is remarkably unenthused to see him, and I would tend to agree. But we can go ask the smith how he got here. Might be an interesting tale. Metaphor or strange truth? Swamby says. He stares you in the eye. It's so impossible, it's laughable. But he doesn't seem to be joking. He picks up his hammer. The interview is over for now. Yeah, so he's a man of few words. But for now, we can go exchange that long box that we have for a heart metal ingot. We won't deliver it to the acolyte, because we do want that heart metal ingot here. What use is heart metal to you? But then what use is a long box? You imagine, perhaps you imagine the whisper at the shoulder. What use indeed is a heart? When you turn, it's only the ragged flirting of the wind. Interesting. A covert exchange. The legalities of trading in heart metal are vague. If its existence were acknowledged by laws, it might be forbidden. Put it somewhere out of the way. Sure. Sure we shall. And now we've got that for our trade to the principals. Once we offload that hunting trophy, we can also do this heart metal ingot at the same time. Now, to get our passenger up to Guider's Morn. Maybe the Sea of Lilies? Maybe we can go there. You know, maybe we could go to Scrimshander. Now, we do have to pay something to leave, but the prices there, I do remember, were very competitive. Perhaps we just risk it. We'll stop off at the Shepherd Isles at the very least. Could buy fuel and supplies here for a high price, but not the worst price in the world. Let's see, where are our destinations from here? Guider's Morn up here, then Rack, then probably back to Fallen London. I can't even remember what it was about Scrimshander that I did not like. I think it might have just been the fact that you had to pay to leave it. In flesh, which I think is a crewmate, or maybe a wound of yourself, or in Z stories, which we do have, actually. Go and leave there. And one other thing that I can't quite recall. it's been a long time since we visited there. I mean, you have a lot of crew now. You are correct. We don't rely nearly as much on a single crew member as we did once, as we did with the starter ship. So maybe that is the option that we take. We go to Scrimshander, do what we need to do there. We didn't. I don't think we searched it out very much at all when we visited there. I can't remember anything about it. And then maybe we can stop by Port Cecil before we head on back. We have removed our space here, but I'm not sure if that's just fuel and supply that we've disappeared on, or if that's other things as well. I think we lost a parabola linen. Yeah, I'm really not sure. We picked up this lady, so maybe we go kind of a zigzag pattern. Up to Gidersmorn, across to Scrimshander, over to Port Cecil, and then down to Rack and Fallen London. I think that'll be how we do it. Oh, and a Corsair. No, Steam Pinnace. You I can take on. Lickety Split. You are of no concern to me, buddy. Okay. Supplies. Okay, not too bad. We can always burn them if we need. Off to Gidersmorn first. And that'll keep our terror down. Hovering at 60 while higher than I would hope for is still pretty good. Ah, and something else is looking up at us. So, it's the Leviathan again. So I guess it's either the thing that screams like a woman or the Leviathan. Conveniently, we have full success chances on both, but we've got Tales of Terror, we've got Terror itself, we've lost hull, got fragments. I'm really not sure if this is the best option, but I mean, beats me. Perhaps we'll let it pass next time if we can identify it more specifically. So where's Gidersmorn? It's around this side of the rock. Should do a quick run up to the surface soon. You'll reduce your terror and you can get rid of the dark drop coffee beans. I should probably, but I'll have to fill up on fuel first. So I'll need to go to Fallen London to do that. Oh no. A kind of obsession. A stoker approaches you in your cabin. Captain, she says, that thing in the hold. It's dreaming about us. It means us no good. No good at all. What thing in the hold? Below no more than 0. What? What thing in the hold? I've got so many things in the hold. What? I think I'm just going to send her back to work. Let you look it up. Yeah, There are so many possible things that she could be talking about here. Parabola linen, maybe that thing we picked up at the Uttershroom. Maybe the tomb colonists, maybe our passenger who we're just about to drop off here. It doesn't specifically say what we would be tossing overboard. If I knew, then I'd be more willing to do it. It's your live specimen. Oh, really? Okay. No, I want that. Tried her back to work. Tried her for her foolishness and send her away. One terror. Shaking her head. We'll be sorry. Oh, yes, we'll be sorry yet. Calm down, lady. We will be fine. So we've reached Gidersmorn. Let's go drop off the shady sort. She inhales the air and smiles, perhaps for the first time. As I remember it, she remarks, less mud, more rum. Business concluded. At the winch head, a deferential fellow in Fustian waits. He bows to the shady sort. A pleasure as ever. You he barely favors with a glance. He presses a heavy purse into your hand, small coins stained with salt water, but together they amount to a tidy sum. So that's that. That's not the first time we've dropped her off here either. Could go get ourselves a Veils challenge. Or we could reduce our terror here. Probably not by much, though. And lastly, we could explore the Mourn. I'm ignoring this trade deal for now. Saul's fruit are not what we need. Not at all. Port from here would also not be a bad idea. Sure, let's go to shot. Hey, there we go. In a steaming bathhouse on a spur of rock. Water slops over the edge of tubs, out over the edge to join the Z far below. Scarred captains boast drunkenly of the prizes they've taken, the victims they have marked out. You listen from the shadows. We've got the port report for free. And we can still explore the Mourn here. So, we can go question things. Praying to all of these fellows. Last time I think we prayed to Stone. We actually lost Stone's attention. I don't know what we gained from it, though. This time I think we'll pray to Salt. Because I don't really want to reflect on our future here. I think we'll pray to Salt. Because we can get Salt's attention back pretty easily, as far as I remember. I think that has to do with Z stories. Up in Wither. So let's go do that. Got 2 pages, 2 mirrors. That's right. I think we gained stats the last time there too. So wow, Guider's Mourn is not half bad for gaining stats. Then that's pretty nice. Something distant. Look east, where the Z and the roof are one in the mist. Your gaze unlocks the horizon like a puzzle box. The neath is reconfigured and transfigured. It lasts a single heartbeat. And we lost Salt's attention. Interesting. Very interesting. But that's all the stuff we can do there. I don't think we want to get anything. Yeah, I don't think we want to get anything here. You know, I'm thinking of skipping Scrimshander, because that's way out of the way compared to all the areas that we go. I might just go back to Port Cecil and buy up fuel and supplies there. That might be a better option for us, because they're more expensive, but they're not nearly as expensive as in Guider's Mourn. I think that'll be our best shot, and we'll get enough for us to make it back through rack and whatnot, but just enough to make it back, and probably no more. And that'll also be the location where we can drop off more stuff to clear it from our inventory and get some Scintilic for it. And we should very much be able to make it over here with our current amount of fuel and supplies. Man, I love that music. Such fantastic instruments. I love the sound on them. But we've made it back here. Let's go... Well, first let's go trade our item here. Extra move. Trade our heart metal. I long for my ending, but I fear it besides. This is needed to encase my fear. Ice and oysters. The trap jaws. Give me courage. I want so to be less. Give it to me. There you go. Your payment is there in the corner. And here, in this secret, I was forbidden love by the bazaar when I left the world exile. But I don't regret it. I never regret. So we got a secret from that and our 7 Centillic. How is our hold space doing? Could we afford to get 7 more? I think if we go straight back, we probably could. Let's risk it. We'll give him a hunting trophy so we can clear everything that we have here, all the requirements. And we'll fill up the rest with fuel. We don't necessarily need this for my disillusion. The others are tools. This is an ornament, but ivory and chess is asked, aren't we? My emissary has your payment. A little of me, there. There I shine. And a secret. The spiders of Savior's Rocks. Crush them, crush them. Made arrangements with my cousin. Bargains to blind a monster. Remember that. There are many alliances. With your cousin. Interesting. So there is a monster over there by Savior's Rocks, kind of wrapped in spiderweb. That being, I want to say the Tree of Ages, which is not a tree at all. It looked like a terrifying, horrific sea beast. And it does seem very much like a boss. I think it had like 900 something health. But interesting. I don't know what that's all about at all. I'm super interested in the lore of that. But that's all of our business completed with the principles there. Let's fill up the rest of our cargo space up to 11 fuel. That should be enough to get us back. That should do us fine. And it only cost us a little bit. And our 5 supply should make it back. Should be enough for us. And with that, we'll sail straight back, well, straight over to Rack and then to Fallen London. And we've got, hold on, we've got Milebreaker in there, right? Yeah, we're good. We're still good. And we've got Fuel Efficiency Officer. Yeah, everything's still in check. Everything's still doing great. We really should talk to our tireless mechanic at some point. I don't think we've ever talked to him. Yeah, he only requires the supply, and yet we've still never done that. I guess I found the ones that required more interesting than him. The ones that required specific items. Ooh, should I even go to Rack? Our terror's at 67. So we may encounter the Constant Companion. That said, the Constant Companion's not as big a risk anymore. He's definitely going to be a problem, but we should be able to submerge. Even if we get hit 2 or 3 times, we should be able to submerge and remerge? Resurface? Resurface, that's the one. Resurface. Whoops. There's a button. Resurface without him doing too much damage to the ship. Without going really below half, I think. Massey Shaft. That's actually a location I have not known too much about here. Man, there's so much like background informational lore in this world. I really that is one of my favorite parts of this. There's just so much going on in the background that you can kind of piece together. Sometimes you can't, but sometimes you can really just barely piece it together there. We'll try to escape this guy unscathed. Whoa! Okay, that was a torpedo. We're almost over to Rack. Ooh, but he's hit us there. We'll go and submerge and avoid this guy. So we are just about to Rack. We only got to go a little way. Hopefully we can get there before the Constant Companion shows up. And there is that research vessel. We fought them last time. They didn't seem hostile to us at all. So we won't make that mistake again. I felt really bad the last time we fought that off. So we won't do it again. I really wish we could talk to them at the very least, but oh well. They're just explorers as far as I can tell. Go racking. I'm going to Guider's Morn eventually. Let's see. We'll grab the port report. City's doing city things. Ooh, we can buy a firkin of prisoners' honey. Or a supply. That's actually pretty expensive with the amount of supply we've got left. We may not even have enough to make it back home. But I do need to go to Guider's Morn eventually. Supplies, pretty basic. Yeah, nothing in the shop seems super interesting to me. But let's go check on our ships. Get us some echo, lose us some terror, give us some scrap, and then let's go and taste some tether so we can complete the storyline. Now, I can't remember what we've last done. We've done one of the knives. I think we actually might have done both of the knives. Then one of these each, maybe two of one of them, but I cannot remember which one. So I think I'll go with a cup this time. Empty, silver modern, engraved with a simple floral scroll. Fits so well in your hand, it's awkwardly light, however. The matron leads you to one of the many doors. You follow her into the darkness beyond. Now we can look at stuff. Okay. Oh, I guess it already it tells us actually what we've had. So, we have already looked at the curtains. Let's go look at the clock. Its hands are still. Tether melts in your mouth. An open bench in Central Park. A miracle. You twirl your walking stick as you sit, glad to rest your old legs. What's the time? You fish your pocket watch from your vest 1:30. So where's a footstep in the grass behind you? Someone snatches your top hat. You spring to your feet. Your friend stands there wearing your hat. That old bastard, you chuckle. Swishing your walking cane at the jocular gentleman. He blocks with his cane. You exchange a few bouts as if you were still boys. Now we know that there's a friendship. I really wish there was a collection of that. So that's probably in Rack down here, right? Rack. We are slowly remembering things, but it doesn't tell us which exactly you remember. I think we actually might have already seen that one. Dang. Okay, that's fine. We do eventually need to go back to Guider's Morn. That's fine. And the city is at 14. Hopefully we'll be able to get that to 16. We're slowly climbing up, I think, by the number of ships that we send over there, especially considering the number of ships we aren't refusing to send there, so we're not warning them about here. I think our 2 supplies should be enough to get us back home. Fallen London's very much not far away at all. So we'll just go and set out here. Ooh, and go and surface before the constant companion gives us a drubbing, because I can hear him skittering off in the background. Ooh, that is unsettling. That is very unsettling. But yeah, 2 supplies will be enough to get us back, and our fuel is well and proper filled to get us back as well. Could have stopped off at the salt lines, but that would require us to turn around. It kind of sends us the opposite direction of where we're headed, so we'll go and set off this way instead. We never ended up using up our recent news, actually. That's something that we just didn't have any opportunities to do. I think we had a few opportunities to sell them, but none to use them for any sort of unique trade. I think the only one that I know, just off the top of my head about, is maybe the Abbey. I think you can trade them for something, maybe a little bit of terror reduction, and then most assuredly in Adam's Way. That's one of the ways you can actually get in there. But apparently we did not need the Fruit of the Eternal Tree from that. Oh, come on. Well, we've got another potential prisoner here. That's what I'm seeing. That's my opportunity. There we go. We got a prisoner. We lost 2 crew. Oh well. That's fine. We had some extra excess here. We also, I believe, we just lost Storm's attention there. But we have barely contained her. The crew drags her down in a shrieking heap. You drag her off below decks. I am that old fury, she is howling. For a moment, in the glim light, her eyes seem to swirl the gray of storm clouds. But since we're so close to Fallen London and we are doing fine on crew, we're doing all right. Now, what do we have on here? Oh, right. We still have our romantic literature because we never made our way down to Port Carnelian. So we'd have to pay taxes on that. And that would actually turn that into something else. So let's just talk our way out. We've got plenty of Admiralty's favor here. Today's duty officer is a patriot. Perhaps you can claim you're on Admiralty business. Of course, you hint at a secret business. The duty officer snaps a salute and barks an order you may pass. So a little expensive. 5 Admiralty's favor used up there, but it has got us off scot-free. And the Alarming Scholar has another present for us. Supplies. I'll take it. Always nice. I don't really need an ambiguous Eolith. That said, it actually doesn't take up any space in our hold, so not a bad idea. I might actually give her the lump of blue scintillic, though, because we haven't really found a use for it. Really not certain. You know what? We'll keep anything that doesn't take up cargo space. If we have anything that takes up cargo space that we really need to get rid of, we could give it to her, to him, to her, to whatever. But anything that doesn't take up cargo space, we'll just leave for us. The lump is reusable and instantly gives you a firing solution in combat. Oh, it's reusable. Okay, that I did not know. I assumed that was a single-use kind of thing. That's why I hadn't been using it. If it's reusable and we just keep it in our inventory, yeah, that's totally good. That's really, really good. But we'll go and probably give her one of the intriguing snippets. I believe she is one of the only people to actually use them. I haven't ever seen that. We'll keep one on us, of course, just in case that's required for a trade. And our live specimens, those we'll keep as well. Though I think we might actually turn one into that last study item. Where is that called? What is that called, rather? The Serene Aquarium here. Since we do have 2. That said, if we do make this, it will permanently take up space in our hold, which is not the best thing. I really wish that I could know 100% for certain if this would turn into anything different if we collected the whole set. Because we could convert it into the Zong of the Z. But that requires, you know, all of these other items. All of which, well, most of which, pretty much all of which, are far out of our reach. port reports, easy enough to get. All this stuff, also easy enough to get. We have most of them. Well, easy is probably not the right word. We have collected them over hours and hours of our adventures here. But the Memories of Distant Shores, Z Stories, Tales of Terror, Secrets, those are things that are great in number in the requirement. 77 for each of those, except for the Secrets, which is still 40. Still a lot. Great in number and difficult to obtain. The possible exception of getting them from IREM, which always requires other currencies to be traded for that. So it's really unfortunate that we actually have to get those out. If it was just that, this does seem like an endgame thing. So maybe I'm overthinking it. I will pick up the set, I think, because that'll increase our mirrors by 7. Which will be nice. So we'll construct the Serene Aquarium. You know the secrets of this peculiar specimen. Construct an environment that will display it to best advantage. Mysterious motions. Watch this ichthid enigma traverse the tank. Its motions are subtle and elegant. They induce tranquility. Perhaps, too, they reveal divinatory truths. So we lost some supply, secrets, specimen, and gained the mirrors permanently. What's the purpose of writing the Zong? It looks like it's endgame if you have the right ambition, but I don't know if that's your ambition, since ours is Father's Bones. Yeah, it does seem like an endgame sort of thing. That's why I was considering that. I think when I get this, if and when I ever get this, I will consider that game complete. I will consider that time to move on, time to play something else on stream. Probably move over to Sunless Skies, because that is a whole new ordeal, a whole new thing. But we're kind of going after Aestival here. We're trying to go and convert that to our kingdom. Maybe it's a bad idea that I even considered collecting these. They do give us stat upgrades. Pretty good stat upgrades in that. Dunno. We could also convert all of our outlandish artifacts. We've got 14 of them. We can convert 10 into an heirloom, but do we need mass outlandish artifacts for anything? Kind of don't feel like we do, and we do know quite a few places to get them. I think we can get, for sure, some of them in the Chelinet. We can convert hunting trophies to that, and a few other places where they've just been present that we haven't really bothered to trade for because we didn't really need it. I think I will convert this into an heirloom here. Individually, these artifacts are interesting. Together, they're unique. An elaborate collection. At least if they're sold, they'll be sold together. So we'll convert that into our 3rd heirloom. But we're back here, which means it is time to turn in our, not the vital intelligence, our port reports to this fellow. Guider's Mourn, Mount Palmerston will keep. Port Cecil will do. Yeah, all of these. The rest of these, I think we should be good. Oh no! Right. Out of space. Okay, we'll toss one fuel over. That was my mistake. Let's go sell all of our Scintilic first. So we'll sell down to 2. Again. So we'll have the 2 if we need them. Maybe sell the Muter Salt? Can't think of any reason I'd want Muter Salt. Yeah, I think I'll sell that too. I might even sell this down to 1. No, I think I'll keep 2, just in case I need 1 in one location and another in another. But we'll keep on submitting port reports, even though we had to dump that fuel, which is unfortunate. And anything in particular that you need? Returning to the Mangrove College in the Swallowing Isles. Should drop off the tomb colonies to take up so much hold space. Yeah, I think I will drop them off too. Everything else we're done for here, and we'll submit our vital intelligence to the voracious diplomat. We've got lots of echoes. Like, my goodness, so many echoes. I really didn't think we'd start accumulating them so fast. It's a really exponential growth once you get to another, like your second tier, maybe more than second tier. This is probably an end game type ship. Once you know all the maps and you know the trades and stuff, it is really quick to accumulate a lot of echo. You do have to sail long distances either up to the surface or across the map, making odd trades here and there. But you can make a lot of echo really fast. I can't believe I struggled with echo for so long. Maybe that's just a restriction of the earlier ship. It's very, very nice to not have to worry about that anymore. I think we're done with her. Roser's Wharf. Could trade our live specimen away, but... You know what? Yeah, we shall. 150 echo, not great. But we can get more for free, and we've got multiple strange catches we can convert in the Utter Shroom to it. Room in her heart. Wait, no. She comes here to protest against the shadow puppet production of the honey harvest, but she's also known to buy caged specimens. Room in her heart. I never did like to see anything locked up. She searches her purse for payment, as two of her burlier supporters have to cage. The thing inside is remarkably still. The dauntless temperance campaigner hands over the fee and pats the cage. Come on, dearie. Come now, dearie. Let's get you out of here. We'll just lose out on 400 echo and a Judgment's Egg. The Judgment's Egg I'm sad about, because those are really, really rather rare. That said, I really don't think I'm going to find another tomb colonist. I think it's a very low chance. Anything for the Brass Embassy? I thought not. Labyrinth of Tigers, we don't care about. No Harlot Fry for them, nor do we have a live specimen that we wish to purchase. I think we're all good. Let's go check into our lodgings. Hold on, do we have any more items in our cargo? This bolts of spider silk. We definitely don't need that. Sack of dark drop coffee beans we will keep, though. We are close to a few things. Our fuel is adequate to move around. I think we might make an interesting trip. Probably won't stop off in too many locations, but I do want to head to the surface, which means we will want to fill up on dark drop coffee beans. So for that reason, we'll head up to Venderbite so we can empty out our tomb colonists. We'll head... across to Guider's Morn, actually. Maybe by way of Demew Island. Because we do have that mission from Rack to go and send more folks there. And so we'll head to Guider's Morn, Rack, and we'll skip all over this stuff. Don't need any of that. To get down to Port Carnelian, where we can buy up our dark drop coffee beans, sail up to the Iron Republic to fuel up, and then up the Command Canal, where we can go and deal with our coffee bean trade there. So I think we'll take a short trip just in those directions. I will need to pick up some food here first, though, because our supplies are very, very limited. Small chance to get a tomb colonist if you get an unprepossessing mass from a monster kill. Oh, don't tell me that now. I was just ready to... Really, really small chance. But there's a chance though now that I know of. I think we'll still give up on it. I think we'll still take the lower reward. But for that, we'll go buy up supplies to feed ourselves for the journey. If we're going as far as we are, I think 10 supply should probably be enough to get us all the way around and leave us with just barely enough to make it up the Cumaean Canal. Just barely. Then we can, of course, buy some more supply on the surface so we can load up there once we sell off our coffee beans. For now, head up to Venderbite to drop off those passengers. Just shoot a few Z-beasts up on the way. Yeah, that'll be part of the plan. Unfortunately, Z-beasts are, around Fallen London at least, unlikely to drop on prepossessing masses. They're usually the smaller Z-beasts. I might take on a Lifeberg, though. We've been testing it out on a few various creatures, and I think if we keep the Lifeberg at the right range, we can just kind of back up. Ooh, maybe not in the fog. I was about to say we could just back up and keep firing at it until it goes down, but depending on how this fog turns out, that may not be an option. I'm surprised. Usually there are Lifebergs by here. Maybe it's, I'm thinking, closer to Wither. There are generally always Lifebergs by Wither. I might go sail past Venderbite and see if I can take on a single Lifeberg. If I can do that, then I'll see if he drops an unprepossessing mass, and hopefully we'll get a Tomb Colonist from that. But if not, we'll just take the L there. We'll, of course, take on these guys. I would be very, very surprised if these guys drop an unprepossessing mass. They are a little too small for that. Go gather the supplies. Albino moray, angler crab, behemoth stash, bound shark, jellyfish. Oh, okay. So yeah, we don't have a chance of getting it off a Lifeberg. Okay. Well, there's that. That's what we can do. Sorry for losing one of your tour folks from the Venderbite guy. Sorry about that. They fell off somewhere. But here's what you got. The end of the tour, what remains? The operator hails you warily. Is this all? What happened to the rest of them? You can redo the tour? God, no. That tour was awful. Oh, but it does give it 1100 echo? Wow. Okay, maybe I will redo that tour. At last, the operator ticks off the remaining colonists on her list. Well, close enough, I suppose. Here's your fee. And they seem cheerful enough. Perhaps we won't lose all of them to the moths or to the sanatoria. She leans in. Her breath is scented with mushroom wine. Venderbite is worse than you know, and now you know it. Interesting. Back in the day, monsters would spawn instantly when you entered an area, but wouldn't despawn instantly when you left. So if you weaved down the edge of the area, you could accidentally spawn hundreds of Lifebergs all at once. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a good thing they changed that. At least, I hope they did. That sounds either great or terrible, depending on if you really wanted to farm something. We'll go grab the port report here. And actually, we have a color for the first curator, don't we? A ray-drenched cinder. I smell stars. A cavity. Beside the curator's couch waits a humped machine of iron and brass. There it wheezes, straining to raise its arm. A recess approximately the size of the cinder awaits. You place the cinder there and close the lid. Faint atonal music, like the prickling of starlight, drifts from within. I will never see Parabola, the curator wheezes, but perhaps you will. Take this mirror. It was born in a volcano. Dark glass serpent carved. Interesting. So we got a captivating treasure for that. And we got Cosmogon, the color of remembered suns, the fecund, the photed, and the fungal. These flourish in the glow of Cosmogon. Fungal. Yeah, so the fungal, this must have been... I wonder what the fecund and the photed mean. That's beyond my knowledge of the language. If you got them all, you get 1500 echo and a judgment's egg. Yeah, so that might not be all that bad. That said, we only have Vieric, Violent, Irigo, and Gant. Gant, we know where that is. I swear we've seen Violent ink somewhere, but I cannot for the life of me remember where we've seen it before. We saw it as some sort of trade that we didn't have access to. A pot of Violent ink, and I just cannot remember where we saw that or what it was traded for. So the next time we do come across that, we will go and try to find out what exactly it is we need to get it. But I think that should be all we have to do in Benderbite. We will will not take the tourists again. No, apparently it costs us now to do that. Well, no, I think not. So let's go leave all that about, check our hold, see if we can sell off or offload anything here. Oh, right, we have a prisoner. We should offload that, actually. Which we do need to offload in the Isle of Cats. So maybe we'll go further on this voyage than I thought. Demew Island, Guider's Morn. The Uttershroom, maybe to pick up a new live specimen? Oh, but we forgot our firkins of prisoners' honey. Maybe not the Uttershroom. Maybe we'll keep the same bit. Going down to Guider's Morn. Maybe the Isle of Cats and then over to Port Carnelian. Isle of Cats, no. I think that'll be for next time. So for next time, we'll have to go to the Uttershroom, the Isle of Cats. All that stuff. And go and deliver the prisoner and our strange catches to convert them all into something more useful. Right now, we'll find our way over to Demew Island. Fortunately, we're just slower, just a little bit slower than Moody's Light here. We can start heading straight over across. And we should be entering this fog bank, unfortunately. Well, maybe we can skirt around the edge of it. Yeah, we just barely reached the edges of this. And dock over at Demew Island at the Iron and Misery Co. Funging Station. We will go take a free volunteer. Well, almost free volunteer. Because we are a wee bit low on crew. And I don't think we'll do anything else here. We'll just continue over to Guider's Morn. Which, yeah, is still further eastward. Not much to do here. It's an empty sea. We know where we're going, what we're doing. food slowly creeping down here, much like our fuel. I think we should have enough to make it over to Port Carnelian to get some more. Especially if we make it over there in the way that we intend to, just going straight across. And this time we're slightly outrunning the lighthouse, so we won't get any benefit of its light. Oh, man. These lighthouses have just not been in sync with us. And of course we're behind a rock, so we can't even do the last leg of the trip with it. Oh well. Guider's Mourn. All done. Yes, it's time to lure them to Rack. You hear the boast echoed up and down the Mourn, resounding from every tavern. I will be the deadliest captain of the Zee. Spin them a story of danger. There you go. You stand atop a bar, a bitter pint in hand. A few bemused drunkards watch. Who wants to be a hero, you ask, gesturing so your drink sloshes onto a grimy face? Who wants to be a proper damn hero? The Zailors' songs die. They all watch enthralled as you speak of a place fit for the fiercest, where gigantic mouths bite through hulls and devour ships from the inside out, where leviathans crack ships like eggs and eat. You sailed by such a damned ship, but were too afraid to fight the terror below. But these captains, these heroes, before you even finish, half a dozen have rallied their crews for the docks. They'll sink over Rack in no time. Sweet. So that's all done. We will not go gather intelligence because we're headed up to the surface, which means risks aplenty are coming anyway. Let's make our way down to Rack and then down to Port Carnelian. My fuel and supply situation may be more stringent than I had previously calculated. It's a little bit more of an issue here. We'll turn off our lights here. We're in a fog bank and we're inside a light, so nothing's going to help us out. Oh, another Z-Beast. Let's go grab it. Strange catch. How are we on our way to Rack? We are just about over it. And, go take on this fellow, I suppose. The standard ring around the rosy game. And sink him down. Supplies and fuel, and a cask of mushroom wine. Cool. If we ever finally get to Nook again, we will be able to enter and deliver the second letter from the nearly dead man to him. And turn. And we're good. So Venderbite is our next location. Our ship has come in. And we will go and grab a port report and taste the tether, probably. Though we are at 16 of 16. Oh, the state of the city, which I believe 17 is when things start to look up for the city. I think that is it. Definitely not going to buy any of these. We don't have the supplies to do that. Let's go taste the tether. We'll try to remember which one we've already done. So we did the first one while lifting the cup. Maybe the one that is shown with the symbol over it is the one that you've actually not done. So let's lift the cup again. This time let's look at the red curtains, I think. They've been hanging for a long, long time. The tether melts in your mouth. How long until they bring up the curtain? The jocular gentleman scratches his snowy beard. Odin's horse is a full day at the opera. Maybe most of that's spent staring at the curtain. You snort, glancing again at your pocket watch. Would you like to bet on when it rises? Loser buys the winner dinner at Delmonico's? He shakes your hand. Accepted. Another quarter hour, I'd say. They need to... The lights dim. The conductor walks to his podium. You wager another minute. Your friend puffs his cheeks, one of his tics. So, I guess this story is a meeting of some folks here. We've got a friend in the jocular gentleman. We both seem to be aged, considering he's got a snow white beard. And we're just having a nice little day at the opera after meeting us on a bench. That's pretty neat, though. We have to go to Venderbite for our next journey there. That'll be our visit to Racton. We'll go and surface before the constant companion goes and finds us out. And straight on down will be our path to Port Carnelian. Suppose we can stop by Pigmote Isle. There's not going to be much there. I'm so mad that Pigmote Isle got done in the way that it did. Ooh, there is a whirlpool right ahead of us. We should take care to avoid that. Yep, there's Pigmote Isle, completely abandoned now. The poor fellows. Next time, with the next captain, I will endeavor. I will do my best to make these guys a little stronger before I set them at war with two separate civilizations that already exist. Suppose we can go search. We do know that Blue Centaulic is popping up elsewhere. We have one in our inventory, so... But it's all gone. Nothing to speak of. We just need to head pretty much straight south. Port Carnelian. Now, question is, will our food last until we get there? I think it will. But we will be running on empty for a little while. Just a bit of time. And we'll need to load up on fuel at the Iron Republic no matter what. I think we should still have enough to make it over there at the very least. So there are those dual vortexes, Raynor's and Velton's vortex. I'm sure there are stories behind the namings of these. Maybe there's not. But we'll make it there just before we have to start eating folk. Maybe slightly afterwards. There we go, just in time. We made it to Port Carnelian. Now, first things first, let's go give this romantic literature away for goodness sake. We've been holding on to that for a long time. Governor relies on a cadre of docile native tigers to act as intermediaries with their fellows. One of them has a weakness for potboilers. Miss Jenny's Diary. The tiger is pleased. He asks you to read from one of the more explicit volumes. An hour later, he rumbles one more chapter for the third time, lazily flexing his claws. We had to read it to him, too. You're kidding. But that is our network nice and shored up here. We'll go and... You know what? Let's influence affairs finally. We've been sitting on this forever. For absolutely ages. Oh, but we only have one vital intelligence. Maybe not. Maybe let's go grab some more vital intelligence. Which will reduce... Oh, and disease story. Sweet. Oh, which did not, in fact, reduce our spy network. Interesting. Silent as stone, the great Z powers covet the Carnelian coast for its sapphires, but the jewels your agents excavate are even more precious. Secrets, less gaudy than stones and more portable. We have not suffered. Sweet. In that case, let's go and shore up the governor's rule here. Port Carnelian is a vital part of her enduring majesty's dominions, and so it shall remain. You set to work. No longer is Port Carnelian a year behind London's fashions. Now novelists frequent the tea shops. Poets from the Vale Garden haunt the waterfront. A string of painters belonging to the nocturnal movement pour from visiting ships, determined to capture the ghostly, pastel splendor of the fungal jungle. British flags flutter over every house in the colony. People sing the national anthem in public houses and mean it. The colony has changed. Little London, they call it. And, London's supremacy is now glorious. So, let's go talk to the governor. Not for very long, though. Still can't bother us. And we can also decide Port Carnelian's fate. That's an interesting one. So what decision might we make? Your network reaches into every office, every parlor. I see. With our vital intelligence, we could, perhaps, completely drive out the Khan's agents. But I don't know if I'll do that quite yet. Especially since we've only got one vital intelligence. I'm just here to make some food. Or to make some cash and get some food. So I think, need about, I want to say five supplies. And, well, not by fuel, because we'll be getting that at the Iron Republic. But 5 supplies should make us, should get us over to the Cumane Canal via the way of the Iron Republic. And it should also give us the 2 required food to get up there, where we can get food at a much cheaper price. Now, we'll sell our cask of mushroom wine to clear more room for dark drop coffee beans. We will need 25. Yes, 25 fuel. Maybe less. Maybe a little less. 20. No, let's call it 25. 25 fuel to make it from the Iron Republic to the Cumane Canal, and have 22 to make it from the Cumane Canal to the surface, which means we will need 20 spaces. We need to reserve 20 more spaces, so up to 53 just for fuel. Everything else, we should be able to just buy sacks of dark drop coffee beans with. So let us get up to 60. Perfect. 61, 62, 60. Well. Nope. We'll send the full amount. If we end up needing to offload some somewhere. We can do that later. But with that, we'll have a full 40 sacks of dark drop coffee beans that we can bring up to the surface. And enough to make our way over to the Iron Republic, hopefully. We'll just head straight there as directly as we can. And hopefully we will eat through our supplies and run through our fuel enough to actually make it there. Some spots to spare. Oh, you know what? I probably could have gotten even more because I already bought all the supply that I was intending on using down there. Are we at the Iron Republic? Yes? Yes, this is the Iron Republic. So we might need to purchase some supplies either here or at the Cumaean Canal. I think I might have underestimated how much we were going to eat on the way there. We'll see what they have in store for us. Which house is one we'll need. So we gained 2 hearts, Tale of Terror, and a Memory of Distant Shores. Actually, this is a somewhat regular location where we can gain stats. Not quite sure how the Iron Republic works. Not sure at all here. But we'll open up the House of Harvests. Ooh, lovely. That actually allow us to buy supplies as well. We will buy up to our 25. Oh, or maybe our 23 fuel. So unfortunately, we will have to purchase some supplies and probably some fuel at the Cumaean Canal since we've loaded up. I think we might have loaded up a little too heavily. That'll be okay. We'll make plenty of profit off of them. So we will go and get ourselves over there. Ooh, if we could return our massive ship. This is a really, really chunky one. I don't mind driving a thick ship. We're getting lots of hull cover for it. Oh, look, it's the Nightmare again. 57 plus... Yeah, we should be okay. Oh, and it keeps going down every time. Come on. Well, fail. Whoa, 43? You're kidding. This is absurd. I cannot believe that jumped that way. Well, I'm about to be mutinied upon. Maybe? Nope, there it is. You're kidding. I can't believe I made that choice based on the assumption that it would still stick with... that it would still stick with the 25 terror gain, but it just shot me up to full. I cannot believe that just happened. Okay, well, I mean, the only real option we have is to cut them all down. We've got a 60% chance, so we've really just got to roll well. This will probably cut our crew in half, though. Man. I think I just have to go for it. Fear and despair have destroyed the loyalty of your crew. Half of those who remain have taken up arms against you. You have taken shelter in the bridge while their shots ring out around you. I don't think there's a better option here. I think both options are equally as risky, but we've got to go for the iron option because that's the only one we have a real chance at. This is 1 in 5. This is a 3 in 5 chance. We may lose our lovely captain here. was so close to endgame. I was so close. Look at the amount of echo I have and stuff. Oh man. Well, here's the luck. Salt, watch over me. We won! A costly victory, a haze of blood and gunfire, screams and imprecations, a man you knew with your knife in his heart. Rather quickly, it's over. You are drenched in blood and racked with wounds, and many of your crew are dead, but you stand victorious. Push the corpses of the mutineers into the sea and press on for what little time remains for you. And we're down 50 terror. Man, we would have been totally fine, too. I can't believe that just happened. Well, we lost the majority of our crew, so we're only running at half speed here. We're going to skip back to London. Honestly, fuck the nightmares. There's no point in not reducing them immediately. That's ridiculous. We lost 5 iron, though. Really? We lost 5? You're kidding. Why did we lose 5? We won that battle. Alright, well, we lost 11 crew, lost 50 terror, so we're back to normal. Let's just scooch our way over there. It's better than dying. You're not wrong. Okay, well, it's a good thing we just picked up a whole bunch of fuel. Because we are going to slowly scooch our way back to Fallen London, which is a long way from us. If you'd have won with hearts, you would have lost 10 hearts. Wow, yeah, that's a way worse option. I might have to stop in the Cumane Canal regardless, because our food supplies were prepared for heading to the surface. But also kept almost all of your crew. Ah, I see. So that's a bit of a trade. I think the hearts thing is worse though, because losing 10 hearts, you can get them, but 10 of it, that's a lot of secrets to boost back up, or a lot of random events. So where's the Cumane Canal? Just out of reach here. Gillyfleur moving like double our speed is approaching off of the, was that starboard side? It's a much harder challenge. 334 to guarantee success, while iron was 167 to guarantee success. Hey, you! Off! No! Bad! Bad Gillyfleur. No! Shoo! Bad! Go away. We'll go and dock, though. Go grab the port report here, listen to surface gossip to get a move in the great game. Ooh, and we will also grab some supplies. I think, well, however much we can grab is how much we will grab. 3. And we'll slowly scooch our way back over to Fallen London. And on the plus side, we at least have our, we've at least got our supplies that we wish to bring up to the surface. So we don't have to go back to Port Carnelian and everything. We didn't lose any of that. Restless Nights? No, no, you shut the heck up. I do not care about you, sir. Get that terror out of here. You know, these locations feel much closer together when we have an engine that's actually functioning. Well, we've got a crew that can handle the amount of work that we got to put into it. We're going to scooch our way over. Oh, so slowly. Watching everything in the world pass us by. And a fog bank. Oh, lovely. I don't think I'm going to be able to sail around this. Not if we want to keep heading north here. Yeah. Well, lights are totally useless. Luckily, there's lots of shore on the way, so that should count as our lights. It'll actually save us fuel, so not too bad. Honestly, that's probably the better place to survive a mutiny. Mutinies in general are pretty bad, but we have locations close by. We were not that far from Fallen London. We had just fueled up, so we were pretty good on everything else, even though we have to go very slowly here. Unlike when you went under half by King Here's Rocks. Yeah, that's kind of rough. Hit F. I do not want to hit F. I'm gonna look through here. Ah, F for full power, right. I could... I don't really need to, though. It's a little slow, but... Hit H. What does H do? Repair the hull, I assume? No. I have no idea what H does, so I definitely won't be hitting that either. Slowly now. Slowly. We will scooch our way into port here. Hit it and find out? No. Whoa, what the? London in glory. In the streets and pubs of London, there is an air of jubilation as the Empress had an unexpected daughter, as Parliament successfully abolished fog. There's singing. Listen to the song, Is That Your Name? Oh, what? What did I get? Mushroom wine. Okay. Whatever. I'll just throw that overboard. A light in the farthest darkness. It's a cheaply printed, badly written, painfully catchy, popular song, but it has your name in it. Your deeds for empire, secret or not, have won glory for London, and won you glory with it. The Navy's reputation is a little less tarnished. The parks of London a little less dank. The seas a little safer. Over the next few days, your hall is crammed with gifts from admirers. Oh, interesting. Oh, we gained 5 hearts? Sweet. So that must have been because we did that thing in Port Carnelian. We raised the supremacy of London there. So I assume Glorious is now maximum. We got outlandish artifacts, captivating treasure, which we will convert into an heirloom. Both of them. Apparently we got 2. Cask of mushroom wine, which we will just sell. Same with muter salt. Cool. Well, a tingle in the spine. Ah, right. This is the background from Rack? Rack, yeah. So that's because we talked to them enough. First things first, though. Sell off our muter salt. Sell off our casks of mushroom wine. I don't care. We got them for free, so this is a profit. We will go turn in our port reports to gain our fuel, our fuel back. My goodness. We've got the vital intelligence here, but we should be good to just hold on to it. So that should put us at 21. Ah, there we go. Now we're getting overboard. Let's toss a strange catch overboard. And I'll actually do that with a second as well. Don't need the 2 of those. I'd rather trade them off for fuel. And that should be good. Now, let's go get ourselves... well, first let's go trade one of these. For some profits there. And get ourselves some crew back. Yep, sure. And crew we need 15, 18, and then maybe one more. 21. That should be totally fine for our purposes. All right. We also need to go to our lodgings, where, firstly, we will convert our captivating treasures into heirlooms. All of them. Second, we will sleep our freaking terror away. God, I'm sick of that. And we'll probably do that twice? No. Once is fine. Oh, and we could actually buy a Z-side mansion. So that would leave us with almost nothing. You have no terror. Yes, that's correct, but I want the... I would like the... restful night. In case the nightmares come back, I'll just sleep off the nightmares again. I won't bother engaging with them at all. But we actually have enough to buy the Z-side mansion now. That would leave us with, unfortunately, nothing, so we're going to up our prices here. So our supplies are good. Our fuel is good. Our crew is good. And our sacks of dark drop coffee beans, also good. So let's call everything here good. Let's actually do this first. Let's go for a tingle in the spine. We walked by the docks the first time. Let's wander through Ladybone's Road this time. Refined, quiet, as fine a place to stroll as any. You walk between the terrace houses, catching glimpses of businessmen and poets at their writing desks. Families enjoying charades, cats observing you with imperious eyes. You're hungry. You check your pocket watch. Heavens, if you're late for dinner, that old codger won't let you forget it for a week. You arrive, wheezing but on time. The jocular gentleman joins you shortly after and jokes about your ruddy complexion. You place your orders and excuse yourself to the lavatory. When you return, you find 2 pots of squid stew gurgling on your empty table. They smell foul. The establishment is molding. The bill is unreasonable. Our eyes are wider. Still not sure about this. Is this us, but as... I really don't understand this, not at all. Are we having hallucinations? Is this memories that we're receiving again? I have no clue. But we should be good to set sail again, to set off to the surface. And that I will do here. Probably should buy a... Well, we'll have to buy another supply once we get to the Cumaean Canal. Maybe a bit of fuel as well. Now that we have our ship at full speed, this is a much easier voyage. So much nicer to actually be able to move. Why didn't you sell the prisoner? We're keeping the prisoner for our contact at the Isle of Cats, because she does require either a prisoner or one of our officers, who I don't really want to trade away. So I'm just going to hand over her to her a prisoner, and hopefully that'll progress her quest, or it'll get us whatever she wants to give us, or whatever she's trading for. But prisoners are a relatively rare affair, so I want to hold on to it until we have it for that purpose. Oh, lovely, a Gillyfleur. Probably the same one that actually bashed into us when we were over here before. But we've made it over to the Cumaean Canal, so we'll spend a little bit extra just to get the fuel and supplies necessary to make it up there. And of course, we will pick up the port report and listen for surface gossip. Another vision of the surface? Sure. But we'll go, let's see, do the math on this. Pick up that many, and then that many supplies, and that should give us plenty to make it to the surface. So let's ascend. So we've lost the 10 fuel, we've lost the supply, and we lost 1 terror, because that's all we had. And we're up at the surface with the lovely, lovely music? Question mark. Okay, so we will share our recent news, which will gain us supplies and fuel. Totally fine. And an intriguing snippet. We will not be doing cargo runs around the Mediterranean. We will instead head to Vienna so we can sell our coffee beans. Revolution in the air in Vienna. Hold on a moment. I thought we stopped that revolution by turning in the revolutionary. But let's go deliver all our coffee here. Make 3,200 echoes, a lovely amount of echo. Each day we draw a little nearer to bankruptcy, says the proprietor, spending 3,200 echo on a shipment of coffee beans. You're doing fine, man. You are doing all right. Oh, maybe he's not doing all right. The Firstel's carcass. The Café Firstel is a fire-ravaged wreck. A hand-lettered sign hangs from the blackened, twisted frame of the entrance door. A notice from the melancholy proprietor. Friends, respected clients, for months I have lived in the twin shadow of revolution and destitution. Each day, their terrors have weighed my soul with lead. I fear too much. The fear of it has been too much to bear. Consequently, I have set my cafe afire. I regret the inconvenience. I will wait at home for the police. Farewell. I cannot believe you, man. You were making us so much cash. What? I cannot believe that just happened. Well, we've lost our major source of income. What? Dang. So we'll go buy supplies up here, a lot of them. So we've got 6. I want to get up to like 30-ish. I'd say 30 is good, because it's so much cheaper up here than it is down there. But unfortunately, that will require many a click here. I wish they would let you buy in bulk, or just make it a shop page. Please, for the love of God, just make it a shop page. $29.30, and then 2 for the voyage back. And that'll leave us 30 to adventure around the Beneath with, around the Untersee. How much fuel do we have? Probably not enough. 16? Okay, that'll probably be enough to get back, actually. But that'll be our job done here. Let's go return to Avernus. And head back below. And that'll be us done. Now, I had been planning to upgrade to the mansion, or yeah, I think it is a mansion because I'm currently in some other bit. I had been planning to spend 10,000 echoes on a mansion, but considering we just lost our surefire source of echo, we need to figure out whether we're going to do that or not. I'm not sure what that mansion actually gives us. Yeah, I'm really not sure what that mansion gives us at all, because our current residence, that will allow us to sleep for 100, and it'll give 2 restful nights. We'll take care of that while we're on the way. That'll give us 2 restful nights and cure 2 wounds for 100 echo. Now, if the mansion does result in a cheaper price for either of those, or a better trade without increasing the price, I may still consider getting it. But if it's just a Nope. If it is just a, like, 3 wounds and 3 restless nights for 200 echo or something, I don't think that would be worth it. I don't think that would be worth it at all. So we're going to have to figure out what exactly that does. That might be a decision I save for the next round. That said, there is one more thing that I want to do on the stream today, and that is to romance the Clattery Air. Because we went around the sea. We didn't actually engage with any Corsairs to go and hear about the pirate poet. But I'm kind of the mind that she's probably not going to... probably not going to bear us a scion here. Did I see the Alarming Scholar wanted us here? No. Probably not going to be able to bear us a scion, so I think our best chances of that are to romance the Clattery Air. So she can help us out with the Yearning Burning. I think somebody said she could only do it once, though, so maybe if we end up starting to trade mirror catch boxes, once we get too high there, we'll have her cut that out. And that'll reduce us, hopefully, down to a safe challenge. I think we shall go proposition her, though. Let's proposition the Clattery Air despite her ironical eye. No caresses. She undresses you and stands scowling at you as if choosing where to make an incision. Oh my goodness. Then fingertips and the point of her tongue. She is not exactly impatient, but determined and precise. She knows exactly what will produce the most intense sensation. Your vision blackens near the end, but she never quite goes too far. When you are too drained and dizzy to move, she gives you a smug look that you could possibly interpret as affection. We've started an affair with a Clattery Air. A discreet liaison. Hold on, we're not at sea. We're in the docks. We lost a bit of terror for it. Wait, is that it? That's okay. That's everything apparently. Maybe she doesn't bear us a scion here. All right. Well, we just had a romantic affair with our Clattery Air, who is not interested in anything beyond that, as far as we understand. I guess that leaves... Nope, Maybe's daughter's not interested in us at all, or Maybe's rival now, I suppose. First officer? Nope. She's still interested in the story quest. It might take time. Yeah, you could be right. We'll see here. But we've got tons and tons of echo now, so we'll have to figure out what to do with that. But I think I'll sit on that now. I'll sit and try to research or decide what's the best thing to do there. We had a pretty eventful day. We went over and finally deposited those tomb colonists, 11, if not all 12 of them, at Venderbite. We dropped off, or converted and then dropped off our mirror catch box of sunlight into sapphires and then into straight cash in the Chelinet, and did most, but not all, of the principal's requests in Port Cecil. The only one we have remaining, I believe, is the Lornfluke core. So we'll need to go fight a Lornfluke. Hopefully, we'll do all right. They do have a lot of health from what I remember. And they've got a kind of weird eldritch attack as well. But that'll be the last thing that the principals require for non-existence. And we may actually get a Watchful Curio turned into, presumably, a Clay Man from that, because we did turn in one of those to Port Cecil for its trade, and they mentioned that it might come back as it lost its consciousness. We also sailed around to Polythreme, Irem, did all sorts of stuff over there. I think we actually picked up... what did we trade our Searing Enigma for? Oh, right. We traded that in Irem for the Hesperidian Apple. So that is the fruit of the eternal tree? Yeah, fruit of the eternal tree for the Fathom King. So that's actually one of those pieces that we've completed off. We also managed to, well, pick up a prisoner, which we then have to deliver to the Isle of Cats whenever we get there. We got a new color. I believe it was Cosmogon from the Utter Shroom. We got that from the gift for delivering so many Blemigans to so many various islands, and we lost, unfortunately, all of our propagation stuff from there. There's another gift to be had, but we'll have to keep delivering that. So we'll need to bring more Firkins of Prisoner's Honey to the Utter Shroom. Next time we come back, I will probably end up heading, I believe, to Venderbite? Let me check the journal here for Rack. Because Rack is just on the cusp of being comfortable. Which somebody has mentioned will make their trades very nice. Very, very good indeed. Yeah, Venderbite is the next prey. So we might go over to Venderbite. We do have to pick up a mushroom wine to go over to Nook down here so we can deliver the letter from the nearly dead man to the mercenary in one of the teeth there. And we also still haven't sailed off the south edge of the map with our now living ship. I assume that'll let us go there and maybe get something because our previous ships were dying in that bloody water down there. We'll still have to go there. We still have to go to Varkas. Still have to go to Adam's Way, see what we can do there. But Varkas, I still want to see what the newly closed city is and how the kind of outpost outside of it. Well, they're probably not going to think very well of me considering I turned them in, but hopefully we'll be able to make some sort of contact with the folks over at Varkas's outpost. And of course, we have to go to the Melting Isles to go get some more information. We've swung Port Carnelian in our favor. We nearly died outside of the Iron Republic here because we decided to face our nightmare, which for some reason shot our terror up to like 50, up by like 50, up to 100. So we almost got mutinied and killed. Which sides of the map have you sailed off? We have only sailed off the north side of the map here, and that's always ended with us at Frostfound. We actually used that to our benefit when we initially got the Clattery Heart, because we were too full up on crew. They were just eating through our food ridiculously fast, and we actually cut half of them out by doing that. But we've still got the south side of the map to go. Somebody mentioned that you could actually sail off the west side of the map if you go past the Dawn Machine, but I'm not sure I want to interact with the Dawn Machine, especially since the chat also mentioned that it can immediately shoot your terror up to 100 if you approach it in the wrong way. We do actually have a quest to sail off the eastern edge of the map, but that is for the Carnelian Exile, who has... Let's see if we can talk to her. Has something about the name which burns. That's something to do with sailing off the east side of the map, so we still got to do that. On top of that, we still have to find not one but two fluke cores, because we will need one for Port Cecil, as well as potentially for the Bandage Poissonniere. The alternative for him is an Elegiac Cockatoo, but I've got no idea where we'd get that. Probably in Adam's Way, if I had to guess. But that'll be all for this stream. That'll be all stuff that we do next time. And when I come back, it'll be Thursday. Today's Tuesday? Yes, it'll be Thursday. I'll come back at 3 PST. We'll keep going on this. We'll figure out if we should spend our money on that mansion. If not, what we can do with it to make more cash, especially since our money-making scheme up on the surface has been locked off. We'll have to go figure out what to do then if we end up needing more cash. But that'll all be for Thursday. If you're not just interested in the Sunless Sea stuff, then I will be back tomorrow playing some Subtech Ages. It's a Minecraft mod focused on long-term industrialization, and we're actually getting into the industrial age, doing a little bit of magic as well. So we're probably going to continue along those two lines, maybe visit some of the dimensions we've kind of touched upon there. And that'll be tomorrow, same time, 3 PST. I hope to see you guys at one of those 2 times. And if I don't, then I hope you guys find a fantastic trade route to a coffee shop that doesn't burn itself to the ground, so you can continue making money off of that amazing trade route. As for me, for now, I'm going to go sign off. Cheers, everybody.